All right, so what you're about to see here is a 2.5 hour sales masterclass where I break down every single thing I know as a 30K a month AIDM setter agency owner about sales. Everything that I learned in my past 4 years of being an entrepreneur. Okay, I run multiple agencies. Previous agency, I did $40,000 a month with that, which was my AI receptionist agency. Before that, I used to run a short form content agency. Now I'm running AI DM setter agency. I also done fitness coaching in the past. So I have maybe hopped on 500 sales calls in total, right? In this video or in this sales masterclass, this is basically like a call that my students only get access to, but this time I'm going to publish this with you guys as well. So yeah, if you run an AI agency, you're going to like pull out your notebook, pull out notes, whatever, put on your headphones, just lock in for a couple of hours, and I promise you, before you watch this video and after you watch this video, there's going to be a huge difference in your knowledge about sales and your experience about sales, okay? Also, if you want to get in my community and you want to hop on these calls with me and get a free course on how to sell and create AIDM setters, get on these calls with me every single week, sometimes even twice a week, being able to talk directly to me. It's completely free. You can join by the link down below. All you have to do is get a tool, which is $50 a month that you're going to use to run your agency, which is base 44. And that's the only thing you pay for. The rest of it, the full course, the community, access to me, access to developers, you get all of that for free. Okay, so join by clicking down below and enjoy this masterclass. What I'll cover today is everything that I know about sales. Okay, when it comes to AIDM setters, everything that I know about sales. Okay, so what I will cover is what sales actually is, mindset behind sales. Let me just let this one guy in. So mindset about behind sales, the offer, outreach, discovery call, and in the end we'll do a Q&A. Okay, so here is what basically the whole sales thing look like. It all starts with mindset. Okay, mindset is literally the most important thing when it comes to sales because 90% of the sale is done with mindset. Then we have the profile, right? Because you're reaching out using your profile, and if you don't have a proper profile, your like response rates are just gonna be shit. Then we have outreach, then we have a demo, then we get them on a call, and then we close them. Okay, so what is actually sales? So sales, a lot of people think that sales is convincing someone of like you gotta buy, you have to buy. No, sales is not convincing. Convincing basically means that you're talking someone into something they don't want, right? Selling is finding someone who already has the problem and you show them that you can fix it. That's literally what sales is, okay? And you can't convince someone who doesn't have a problem, right? And you don't have to convince someone that doesn't have a problem, right? If it feels like pushing uphill, then you pick the wrong person to sell to, okay? So let me give you guys an example. This is a raincoat, right? If I try and sell a raincoat to someone in the desert, it'll just feel morally wrong. I'll feel like, bro, what am I doing? Like, he doesn't need a raincoat, right? So when I try and sell him, it's just going to be weird. It's just going to be like, I'm going to feel morally wrong for trying to sell him something that he doesn't need, right? Versus if I try and sell a raincoat to a guy who's standing in the rain, suddenly I'm selling the same thing, but suddenly it feels right, right? So sales is not convincing. Sales is just selling to the right people, right? So you're not going to sell an AIDM setter to someone who barely has any followers, who barely gets any DMs. You're going to sell that AIDM setter to someone who actually needs it. Then all of a sudden, the sale is going to be so much easier, right? Let me give you guys a real story. So one of the first weeks when I started this AIDM setter agency, I spent 2 weeks on one prospect, like literally 2 weeks going back and forward, right? It was a fitness coach, 450,000 followers. We did 3 calls back to back, created him a custom demo, proposal, giving him even a discount. I was going back and forward, like following up every single day with this guy. I told myself that I will sign this guy. he really, really needs it. He has 450,000 followers, right? And I was really desperate to sell him this. And I told myself, I just got to convince him, right? Then I decided to get him on a 1 week free trial. And since he was like hard to sign, right? So I got him on a 1 week free trial just to find out that he was barely getting DMs and he was doing most of his selling in person. And then I found out that he wasn't a fit. So I wasted 3 weeks convincing him, trying to basically I was like going back and forth on calls with him, trying to convince him, telling myself, oh, it's just a problem of convincing him. I just got to convince him. I just got to show him that this is what he needs, just to find out that he doesn't even need it. Just like this example right here. I was trying to sell a raincoat to a guy in the desert, right? He was getting most of his clients in person. So it didn't even make sense to sell him this, right? If I actually, instead of just pushing for a sale and thinking, oh, I got to convince him, and I realized if this is feeling like convincing and feels like a uphill, then this is not the right person, right? But I didn't think that. So a lot of you guys, when you start out, you really, really want to make money. So you try and sell anyone. Whoever comes your way, you just try and sell the person without even finding out if the person actually needs this or not, right? So sales is not convincing. Sales is selling to someone who already has the problem. You just show them that you can fix it, okay? Next thing I want to cover is sales is a skill, not a personality, okay? I have heard so many times, I'm not a salesy person, okay? It's not a real thing. Basically, the loud, confident guy is usually the worst at this because they talk too much, right? And sales is basically not about talking, it's about listening, right? Sales, you don't have to be naturally good at it. Nobody is naturally good at sales, right? It's a skill. It's not a personality, it's a skill. It's learnable, just like driving, for example. You're shit at first when you drive, right? Your hands are sweating, you're looking all over the place, you can't drive properly. Then after some time, it's just automatic. You just press the pedal and you just go, right? So nobody's naturally good at this. The ones who look natural have done it 500 times. And just because you feel like you suck and you're not closing deals and you're not getting replies, it doesn't mean that you're behind. You're just early. And when we're early to something, we suck, bro. When I started my business 4 years ago, when I started my first ever business, I sucked, okay? My first sales call, I still remember it. The first sales call I took, I have written down every single thing, okay? The guy I hopped on a sales call with, he asked me, hey, how are you? And I literally, instead of replying to him, hey, I'm good, man, how are you? I read from the script. I am good. How are you? I had 10 questions written down, but I got afraid and I dropped all of them and I just presented my offer and I told the price. I didn't even ask any questions. And he said, let me think about it. And I said, okay, and I never heard from him. Right? 200 calls later, I don't even know. I just wrote a random number. Maybe taking more than 200 calls. 200 calls later, I'm closing 5K deals without any notes, preparation, and it just looks natural. I just hop on the call. I just do my thing. It just comes naturally, right? But it's not natural. If you see me on a sales call, you're going to think yeah, you're just good at it. It's natural. But it's not, bro. It took a lot of reps. I want to show you guys this video right here. So this is a video from me, back in 2022 when I started my first business model. Just let me know if you guys can hear this. You guys can't hear this?
There's no audio.
No.
No, man, fuck. Because audio is everything. Let me see if I can. Fucking hell, bro. Audio. Okay, fuck it. You guys can go and find this video on my Instagram. I think a lot of you guys have seen it as well, bro. It's just me speaking, and I could barely speak. I was speaking I was just because my personality, I was like an introvert, right? I don't speak with a lot of people. I don't go out. I grew up with anxiety and shit, right? So I told myself naturally that I'm not good at sales. I just if you guys could hear this, I just sounded very I'm scared, right? But yeah, my point is, I didn't grow up being good at sales. I didn't grow up being good at speaking. I was never good at speaking or sales or anything like that, right? My like this is if you guys could hear this, you would understand. But if you can go and check it out on my Instagram. But I could barely speak, bro. I could barely get words out. If I were there is 19 people in this call right now. If I were speaking to 19 people, bro, I would shit myself. I could never do that, right? But it took reps, just doing it over and over and over again, right? So if you're thinking right now, oh, I'm not a sales guy, oh, I'm not good at speaking, bro, you're never going to be good at something that you just started. It's a skill. It's not a personality. I don't care how extroverted you are. You're still going to suck in the beginning, right? So this is where I came from. I could barely speak, bro. I had anxiety. I had a lot of mental health issues. I grew up with bro, I used to be fat. So, when you're fat, you have all these beliefs about yourself that you're not good enough and all that shit. But I trained that out of myself, right? So no one is good at this. You just got to put in the reps. My next point is you got to change your mindset from being a salesman. You're not hopping on these calls with a sales mindset. You're not a salesman. You need to hop on these calls with, I'm a doctor, okay? Look, a doctor never begs you to take the medicine. They ask questions. They find what's wrong with you. They tell you the truth, and then they prescribe you medicine. Their authority comes from the diagnosis, not from selling the medicine, right? Doctors don't discount. They don't chase. They're not like, yo, please take this medicine. They don't give a fuck, bro. If you want to get well, take the medicine. If not, stay sick, right? Your job on the call is the same thing. Diagnosis first, then prescription. And then when you give the prescription of okay, you diagnose their business, right? I'm going to show you guys how to diagnose their business. I'm going to give you the full script. But you ask the questions and you find out, okay, they have a problem of they're leaking DMs or, they're leaking money and their DM setter is shit. And then you tell them okay, cool. This is your problem. You told me there's an AI DM setter. We can fix it. Here's the offer. And if they're they're not going to sit there. You please buy this DM setter so you can make more money. A doctor would never tell you, please take this medicine. They don't give a fuck about you, bro. Doctors are trained to not get personal with their patients. I don't know if you guys know this, but they don't get personal with their patients. You also need to train this in your mind that you're not a salesman. You don't need to get personal. You don't need to take shit personally. If they don't want to buy, it's their loss, right? And oftentimes when you go in with this mindset of yeah, if you don't buy, you're a loss. They are more likely to buy because you don't come off as desperate, right? So it's let's say you go to the doctor, right? You have pain in your foot. Or you don't even have pain in your foot. You have, I don't know, you have stomach pain or whatever, right? You go in and you just sat down and the doctor tells you, this is the strongest painkiller in the market and it's 40% off today. You would think to yourself bro, I haven't even explained my problem. What the fuck is this guy talking about? And then you would just bounce. Right? So this is the thing that most people do. Before you even spoken to someone, before I get these DMs every single day from people. Hey man, I help coaches like you and I have this video editing service, you need this. Motherfucker, I don't need this. I haven't even said that I need it. Right? So that is the reason you can't go to people and just tell them that you need an AI DM setter. Even if they need it, you can't say it. Right? Because they're bro, you don't even know what I need. You haven't even spoken to them. You haven't even asked them questions. Right? So never do this. Never go in and just pit your shit. Always diagnose first. Find out if they have a problem that you can help them solve. If not, you'll end up like me, but I was convincing that guy for 3 weeks and I ended up, he didn't even have the problem and I couldn't even sell him. Right? So going with the doctor mindset, not a salesman mindset. Next thing is people buy with emotion and then justify with logic. Nobody is going to buy an AI DM setter. Nobody buys an AI DM setter, okay? What they buy is the outcome of it. They buy more peace of mind. They buy status. They buy relief, right? That's what they buy. So when you go in with your numbers and the ROI, it's not going to create the desire to buy. It's going to give them the permission to buy. Okay, I'm going to give you guys an example for this, which is going to make sense. But your ROI of you invest 5K with me and I give you 15K back with the appointments that I book you, it's not going to make them buy. Okay, Like it's gonna do one part of it, right? It's gonna justify with logic, right? You have to sell them what's annoying them, not just what's sufficient, right? Logic alone is going to give you like, yeah, it makes sense. Let me think about it. Emotion is going to give you how fast can we start, right? Let me give you an example right now. So this is a Rolex, right, that I bought. I did not buy this Rolex to check the time. Like I can do it on my phone, bro. Like it's for free and it's going to do it more accurately, right? My phone does that for free. I bought it because it gives me more status, right? That's the reason I wanted to buy it. But I told myself, like, it's just an investment. So I bought with emotion, right? I bought with emotion first because this Rolex is going to give me status, right? So I bought because it's going to give me status. But then in my mind, I was like, bro, it's like 15K for this Rolex. And then I was like, nah, it's an investment. Do you guys get the point? It's like we buy with emotion first. We're like, yeah, I want this shit because it's going to give me relief or whatever, right? Then we justify with logic, like, it's expensive, you know, the price is like 15K, but yeah, it's an investment. Do you guys get the point? So always sell on emotion. Doesn't matter. Always sell on emotion and then justify with logic. If you only go into the call only speaking about numbers, hey man, my IDM setter is 5K and it can make him 15K. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Let me think about it. There is no like emotion in it. There is no like you need to buy now or what is going to make you feel like, right? Or if you go in and we're like, this is going to help you never deal with a headache again with all these DM setters. It's going to help you. It's going to take care of all of your DMs. You never need to open your DMs again. You never need to worry about your setter. Have he woken up? Like, is he awake? Is he replying to my DMs? Or you never have to worry about like, let's say they don't have a setter. They never have to worry about, oh man, I gotta go home and I gotta answer through all these like 50 plus DMs. If not, I'll lose money. That's selling on emotion. And then you justify with logic. It's 5K or it's 3K. And then this is the investment and this is the ROI, right? So again, people buy with emotion and justify with logic. And that's exactly how you're gonna sell them. Sales is a process, not a moment. This is very important because here is where I see like 90% of people fail in sales. Beginners think that there is some kind of magic conversation that's going to happen, and then boom, they're just going to get the sale. 1 second. Just admit this guy in. So yeah, beginners think that there is some kind of like magic conversation or some magic word that you're going to say, or like some magic presentation that you're going to pull up, and then suddenly the prospect is convinced. It's not how it works. Real deals that people actually land are like 5, 15, 10, 20 touch points. And that's one of the reasons we post content and nurture them before getting them on a call, right? So it's like, if I reach out to someone with an empty profile, and I'm like, yo, bro, I sell AI DM setters. Do you want to buy one? They're going to tell me immediately no. Who the fuck is going to say yes to a 5K DM setter on the first touch point? This is the first time they're seeing my face, right? Versus when we have a profile with content on it, and let's say they follow us, they're going to see our face over and over and over and over and over again, right? Maybe they say no right there and then on the first touch point, but every time they see our face, every time they see a video of the AIDM setter, every time in our video we're breaking a belief or showing how it works or showing the back end, they're going to get closer and closer and closer in the process, right? So a no today is usually a no right now, right? The money is in the boring middle bit that everyone skips, because everyone is like, yeah, I reached out to 15 prospects and all of them said, no, fuck this shit, this doesn't work. No, it doesn't work like this. A sale takes a long time. Maybe when you saw this free course, right? You saw, okay, this is a free course, and then you got on the page where it's like, oh, it's base 44, it's $50 a month. I'm just gonna bounce, and you didn't buy. But then you saw my face over and over again explaining like, yo, this is what I do, and this is what my students been making, and blah 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 blah, right? Then you were like, let me go back, and you bought. right? Maybe not all of you, maybe some of you guys bought on the first touch point, but I know a lot of you guys didn't buy. Like I can see Simon right here. Simon, I've seen you in my profile. Like I've seen you like following me for a long time. Simon, I think, like I still watch my DMs, and I think Simon asked me for the free course. Like he commented, on my real AI. Like maybe I don't remember if it's this Simon or some other Simon. Maybe I'm mistaken, but there is some Simon. Okay, he commented like 10 times for the free course, and then he didn't buy, or he didn't get in, and he didn't get in. And I think on the 10th or 11th touch point, he got in, right? So I can't tell myself that, oh, I tried reaching out to Simon and he didn't buy. Oh, it's over, bro. No, it needs more touch points, right? People are skeptical. They have like objections in their mind. They're like, maybe this is not real, right? This is how it works, the sales process, okay? So here is where they see your first content, right? They see, okay, AI DM setter. And then in their mind, they're like, yeah, it's probably some shit chatbot, right? And now they're like, yeah, and then they go on with their day. They keep scrolling. A couple of days later, this is the 5th piece of content that they're seeing. And now you're talking about like some belief that you're breaking in the content. Oh, it sounds like the AI is going to sound like you, right? First reel they saw was like AI DM setter. Okay, cool. Then they saw a couple of more. And now the 5th piece of content they're seeing is like, it's trained on your offer, right? Now, their belief is broken. They're like, oh yeah, okay, it sounds like me. Okay, cool. And then a couple of days later, they see your reels again, right? And maybe on your story, you post like, yo, DM me demo if you want a free demo of an AI DM setter. I'm like, yeah, this is the guy, I've seen his face a couple of times. And they DM you demo. You create them the demo and they like it, right? Then they get them on a sales call. And then on the sales call, they give you an objection. And then if you get through this objection, you close them, right? This is how the sales process works. A lot of people think that, oh, I'm just going to like DM someone and then magically they're just going to buy. They're not going to buy it like that. It's a whole process, right? They see your content, they have some belief, oh, this is probably shit. Oh, actually, it sounds like me, but oh, it's probably going to get me banned. Oh, it doesn't get me banned. And then they ask for a demo, and then you send them the demo. The first day, maybe you don't check it out. The second day, they don't check it out. You follow up 3 times, then they check it out. And then, they hop on a sales call, and they don't show up to the sales call the first time, not the second time, not the third time. 4th time they show up. Okay, they show up in an objection. You cover the objection, they have another objection, and then you close. This is how it goes. But a lot of guys, they quit right here, or maybe like here. So for example, I've seen some guys in the community, you guys get yes for a demo. And when you guys get a yes, you send the demo, and maybe you follow up once or twice, and then you completely drop it. But you need to follow up more. You need to follow up more because maybe you're somewhere here in the sales process. Maybe it just needs one more follow up. Maybe it just needs for them to check out the demo, right? So the sales process is not like you're just gonna send a DM and they're gonna tell you, hey man, yeah, AI DM setter. Oh yeah, I love it, guys. Like, yeah, please take my money. I'm gonna send you 5K. I'm gonna send you 10K, bro. It doesn't work like this, right? It takes time. It takes you nurturing them over and over and over again. And this is what content does, right? This is what following up does. You can't just DM someone and write in the community, hey guys, I DM'd 15 people, but nobody's buying. I wonder why. Because it's a whole sales process, right? It takes time. It takes nurturing. Next point is, if they're not a fit, tell them straight up. So the sentence, honestly, this isn't for you, is the most powerful sentence in sales, right? It proves that you're not desperate, which makes everything you say believable. Because everyone in sales is desperate, bro. Why are people in sales? Not because they care about the prospect. Bro, when I sell my AI DM setter, honestly, I don't give a fuck about the fitness coach. I'm there for the money. Everyone is there for the money at the end of the day, right? So it's like, when you don't come off as that you're there for the money, and you straight up tell the prospect, if it's not for them, you tell them, honestly, this isn't for you. Like everything you said, like your authority and your trust goes from here all the way up here, right? Also, it saves you refunds. It saves you bad reviews. and clients that were never going to win, right? This is what I did. Like I told you like a couple of slides ago, the guy who I were just desperately trying to sell to, I managed to get him on a free trial just to find out he was barely getting any DMs. And I wasted all that time with him, right? In my previous agency, my AI receptionist agency, I just countless times, right, signed clients. And then it's like, it doesn't, or actually I have this example right here. Like I had a client, like a barber with barely any inbound calls, but he was like, he had the money out and he was like, yo, I'm ready to pay $3,500 for this, right? And I was like, yo, it's a slow month. This guy isn't actually a fit, but yeah, let me just take the money. I took the money. I built the whole, I didn't build the whole thing. My developer built the whole thing. I paid him. It worked, and there was nothing to like coming in. There was no calls coming in for the AI to answer, right? 6 weeks later, the client is churned. He demanded the setup feedback and told everyone that it didn't work right, because we had an agreement, like if this works out for you, you're gonna, like, he was like, yo, I know many barbers, I can hook you up with them and all of that, right? It didn't work. Like, or for him, it didn't work. It did work. AI receptionist did work, right? But for him, there was just nothing to work on because he wasn't getting any calls, right? So that word of mouth that I was like, that he told all of his barber friends that it didn't work, cost me more than the deal was worth. And he would know on the first call if I wasn't just being desperate and I were actually trying to help him, right? So the moment you're willing to walk away, you stop being nervous as well, right? Because what beginners do is they're like, oh, I just need to sell. I just need to sell. And I get it. It's the reason you're trying to start an agency and the reason you're trying to do all of this is because you're trying to make money, right? And money is what you're doing it for. But if money is like the only thing you're doing it for and you hop on the call only thinking about, I gotta close, you're gonna be nervous, right? And in your mind, you're not like, I actually gotta find out if this guy is the right fit. That's not your mindset. And you're like, just, I gotta close. You're gonna come off as nervous, right? But if you go in with the mindset of like, bro, if this guy isn't a fit, I'm not gonna sell him. Guess what? All of that pressure wears off. You're not gonna be nervous. You're not gonna be sweating. You're not gonna be just reading out of your script sounding robotic. The whole process is gonna be a lot easier because you're not scared, right? So if they are not a fit, tell them straight up. I promise you, later on, there's gonna be problems. You're gonna get money in. Let's say you sign a client for 3K. You're gonna get 3K in. 6 weeks later, you use that money on some other tools. Now you don't even have that money anymore, and they're asking for a refund, and they're like, it's just gonna be a fucking headache. Okay, so if someone is not a fit, tell them straight up. Rejection is feedback. Okay, rejection is the best thing that exists out there. Okay, because rejection, every rejection that you get tells you exactly what you need to change, right? A no usually means wrong timing, wrong person, or you didn't find the thing. And all three of these are fixable. You're just gonna find out and you're gonna figure out why they said no, right? Because if someone tells you no, they're telling you, like if you ask them like, oh, why, I'm gonna show you guys in the script as well, but you ask them like, yo, okay, why is this, if you can be honest with me, why is this, why do you think this is not a fit? And they tell you straight up, boom, you just solve the big problem in your business, because the next call you go on, it's like you fix that problem. Let's say your AI DM setter doesn't have voice notes or you don't offer that. And they tell you, yeah, it's a no because you guys don't offer voice notes. On the next call, even there, you can tell them, we can actually do that. I can add that as an add-on, and boom, you got the sale, right? So rejection doesn't mean that, oh, I lost everything, bro. Fuck, man, I'm going to be in the trenches for the rest of my life. No, a rejection gets you closer to a yes, right? Every no that you get gets you closer to a yes, but only if you analyze the no instead of getting demotivated. Because a lot of you guys who get a no, like, oh, man, fuck this shit, man. This isn't working, bro. Oh, it's a scam, bro. Oh, I'm just going to go back and work my 9 to 5. No. Every rejection is telling you what you need to change, but only if you analyze the no. Only if you don't like, oh man, this isn't working. You actually take that no and you're like, okay, cool. I got to know. It's not the end of the world. What does this no mean? Oh, it means, I didn't have voice notes. Oh, maybe let me implement voice notes, and then let me follow up with this guy and tell him, yo, we just got voice notes in. Or are you still open to this? And boom, they tell you yes. And boom, you just close the client for 5K, 3K, whatever, right? The only failure is not having enough conversations to learn from. So every conversation you have and you got to know, good, because that's feedback. Only if you look at it, that's feedback. So sales in one line is you ask questions, you find the pain, show them what it's costing them, the pain, right? How much is it costing them to lose out on these DMs or having a bad DM setter, and you offer the fix. Simple as that, okay? That's every sale that ever happened in a DM or on a call, right? Everything else is just small details, right? And you don't have to worry about details in the beginning. Just remember this, take a screenshot of this, ask questions, find the pain, show what's costing them, and then offer the fix, okay? What beginners do is they jump like straight to step 4 right here. Without asking questions, without finding the pain, without showing what it's costing them, they just offer the fix. They're just like selling everyone. Yo, AI DM setter, 5K, please buy. It doesn't work like that, right? Let me give you an example. If you have a leaky roof, right? Someone comes in and they tell you, how long has it been going on? What's the damage so far? What did the ceiling cost you? Okay, cool. Got the lockdown. I'll fix the roof for $800. Nobody got convinced of anything. Nobody was like, this guy didn't try and like sell him or like, you ask simple questions. You find out, okay, I can fix this roof. It's going to be $800. Simple. You found the pain, you price it, and you offer the fix. It's the same thing you're going to do. You don't have to overcomplicate this, because when I started out in like, I thought that sales was all this like, yo, bro, sales is like this. You know, we all see these like Instagram reels with these whiteboards of like these triangles and all this like fancy shit. It's just for content, right? Sales in real life is just asking questions, finding out if you can help them, and sell them. That's it. Simple as that. That's sales in one line. Next thing I want to cover is mindset behind sales. Okay, so this is literally 90% of the game. Okay, because let's say we have 2 guys. Guy number 1, let's say there's 2 guys inside of here. There's Tyler and there is Simon, because you guys are the ones I can see. Okay, so this right here is Tyler. He has the script, he has the game plan, he has all of the he has watched every video on sales, right? He has all of that. And then we have Simon, who has the script, the same script as Tyler. He has the same game plan as Tyler. He has the same every knowledge that Tyler has about sales. Simon also has. But Simon has a better mindset. He's completely detached from the sale. He's not going in there thinking, oh, I need the sale, I need the sale. No. He believes in himself and he's confident. Who do you think is going to get the sale? Tyler or Simon? Obviously, Simon is going to get more of the sales because he goes in there with a different energy, right? Because here is one of the most important things in sales. You cannot sell something you don't believe in, okay? Prospects can feel doubt. Not in your words, maybe, but in your tone, in your energy, in your pauses, how fast you drop the price, how nervous you are. They can feel that shit, right? If I were sitting here nervous and shit, you guys would feel it, right? I could be saying the same words like I'm speaking right now, but I could speaking like, guys, Tyler and Simon, believe it. You guys can feel it. I'm saying the same words, right? You can feel it. Maybe if I'm not even speaking now, I'm like overacting, but people can feel it, right? And belief isn't something you can fake on a call. Either you walk in with belief in what you're selling or you don't. There is no in between that, oh, I gotta fake it, bro, identity shifting framework. I watched this video on how to fake belief. No, yeah, you can fake it to a degree, but when you hop on a call with a prospect, they're gonna sense it, right? And if you secretly think it might not work, you'll sell like someone hoping to get away with something, right? And you'll hear yourself doing it, which will make it worse, right? When you're on this call and you're like reading, I remember I was like, this is one of my first calls. I was like reading off from the script, and I knew I was sounding like a fucking robot. And I was reading off from the script, and at the same time I was like, yo, bro, I'm sounding like a robot. And I'm reading and I'm keep going to myself and I'm telling myself like I sound like a robot, and it just made it worse, right? It's the same thing here. If you don't believe in something and you're like going through the script and you're speaking your words, you're going to hear yourself and you're going to realize that you don't sound confident in what you're selling, and it's going to get worse. You're going to fumble, you're going to get nervous, and you lose the sale in the end, right? If you only fix the belief problem of like, if you 100% believe in what you sell, like half of 50% of your sales problems disappear, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to give you like the whole sales script. We all have the same sales scripts inside of here, right? But again, if Simone is selling using the same sales script as Tyler, Simone is like, and Simone has his like, he believes 100% in what he sells, he's obviously going to outperform Tyler, right? So let me give you a story on this as well. I built my AI receptionist agency. It's a typo, not in 2022, but in 2025. Okay, it's my previous agency that I used to run, and I was closing deals and I was making money, right? And I had this friend, and I wanted to put him on, right? Because we all want to put our friends on. So I was like, yeah, let me put you on, bro. I gave him everything, right? I gave him literally everything so he could just copy me, and it worked. He started booking calls, and he was getting more and more calls in. People started showing up, but he didn't close in. He had the same script as me. He was booking almost the same amount of calls as me. I was making 30K a month at that time, and he was making zero. So he was like, bro, can you help me with this? And I was like, yeah, sure. I listened back to his calls, and what I figured out was he had zero fucking conviction, zero conviction in what he was selling. Meanwhile, I had full conviction in what I was selling. We had the same script, the same offer, the same thing that we were selling. Everything was the same. The only difference was that I had conviction. I don't know where the conviction came from. Maybe because I built everything from scratch and he didn't, right? He just got handed everything, right? So I had 100% conviction. He had basically like 5% conviction in what he was selling. And he was reading, we had the same script, call structure, everything. And I was closing 30, like I was making 30K that month and he was making zero, right? So that is how important believing in what you're selling is, right? Because again, if we all have the same script, it's not that Tyler and Simone is going to get the different, like all of you guys, 19 people inside of it, all of you guys are going to get access to the same script, same outreach, everything. And only maybe one of you or two of you or three of you or four of you are going to win. The rest is not. I'm just being honest. This is the reality of how it works in business. Most people don't win. And it comes from because one of the reasons is they don't believe in what they sell, right? So this is how important conviction is. How you build conviction, I'm going to show you in a second. So beginners, what they do is they hype themselves and fake like this confidence. They're like, oh, I got to be confident. Haroon said that I'm going to be confident in what I sell. So they just fake it. And they're like, yeah, I'm just going to act confident. I'm just going to speak slowly and I'm just going to like act like I know what I'm selling. That shit is going to wear off for 2 days and people are going to sense it. Real confidence is you know exactly what you're selling and how it benefits them. Okay, so if you know it recovers a coach $10,000 a month, this AIDM setter, then when you pitch $2,000 a month to them as your price, it's not going to be a scary number. It's not, right? You're not asking them for money at that point. You're offering them a trade that is in their favor. It's like, bro, the investment is $1,500, but you're getting back $10,000. How the fuck can you not offer that with confidence? It's like you're making them their money back like 10 times. And that's it, right? Nobody who generally know the numbers and know what they're selling and is 100% convinced that it works needs pep talks or do push-ups before the call, or like, none of them are nervous. Like, yeah, to a degree, you're going to be nervous. Even sometimes to this day, I'm nervous. But it's like, at the end of the day, I know I'm the shit. Like, this AIDM setter is the shit. I know it can make the money back. They're losing money. This AIDM setter is going to clone them and answer all their leads, book them calls. How can it not make them money? How? It can. I've seen it over and over again. I've done it for myself as well. So obviously it works, right? So that's how you basically build confidence, right? That's how you start believing in what you sell. You realize how valuable it is what you're selling. Back in the days when I was starting this agency, I didn't think I could charge 3 to 5K. My plan was to charge $500 a month. And before I decided to charge $500 a month, I did the maths. I was like, let me actually do the math. I'm selling AI DM setters to a coach that's making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month. And only if my AI DM setter gets them one sale, that's worth $3,000 to them. So if I get them only 5 sales, which is nothing to a 50K coach, they get like 15K. So I make them 15K and I only get $500. This shit is underpriced. That is when I realized, like, yo, I can't be selling this shit for $500 a month. I'm robbing myself, bro. Right? So then I decided that I'm going to charge 3 to 5K a month for this. And if someone thinks that's too much, my answer is it'll only take you 1 to 3 sales to be in profit. Right? So that's how you build confidence. You do the maths. You put the numbers in front of you. You realize that what you're selling is going to make them so much more money. That's the logic part. And then also the emotion part of, like, what I'm selling here is going to save them a lot of time. Like, they're not going to be sitting there drowning in DMs. They're not going to sit there and try and sell, like, they're not going to sit there and deal with their shitty AI DM setter, their shitty setter that sleeps and is not performing well and blah, 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 right? So only way to build confidence, you can't fake it. You have to know what you're selling and you have to have full conviction in what you're selling, okay? Next point is, if it generally helps and you don't push them, you fail them, okay? So if you hop on a call and you find out that this coach right here is actually losing a lot of money, he is he's drowning in DMs, his DM setter is shit, he's sick and tired and all of that, right? But he tells you, like, oh, I'm gonna think about it, and you back off because you think that, oh, backing off is being polite. It's not. Deep inside, you're just protecting yourself because you're just scared of getting a no, right? You're scared of rejection. Every human is, right? But if you believe it works and you've done the discovery part, you ask them all the questions and it's the fit, but you let them off, it's like you're doing yourself and them big, big harm, right? Because every deal that is a fit and you don't close, it's like you're not fixing the problem for them, right? Underselling isn't like, if you're just backing off, that doesn't mean that you're polite or you're respecting them or some shit like that. It's just you being a pussy because you're scared of saying no. And I had this many times happen to myself. Like, I was like, okay, this is a fit, and I was so positive that we can get these people results. But then I was like, yeah, like he said to think about it. I don't want to come off as pushy, man. I don't want to come off as like this guy was just trying to push them. I want to respect them. But then I lose the sale, right? But if I know 100%, like, here's a rule. If you know that you can help the prospect after asking them the questions and are actually finding out that they're losing out on DMs and they're losing out on money, you are obligated to sell them. This is what I said in the beginning. Sales is not convincing. Sales is not about being pushy. Sales is not about like pushing AIDM setters down coaches' throats, right? But if someone has a problem that you can solve, if a coach actually, like, you find out on the call that this can help them, you are fucking obligated to sell them. You are obligated to sell them. You have to sell them. If you don't sell them, they're gonna keep leaking money. It's like you're a doctor. Someone comes into your office. They have, I don't know, they have some kind of disease. Let's say they have cancer, right? And you sit there and you prescribe them the medicine. You prescribe them the fix. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to think about it. You're going to think in your head, motherfucker, you have cancer, bro. How can you say think about it? How do you don't have any urgency? You're going to feel like you're morally obligated to sell them, right? Same thing here. If someone has a problem that you can solve, but you're like, and they tell you, I'm gonna think about it, and you tell yourself, yeah, I'm just gonna be polite, man, and you let them off, you're doing a big, like, disservice to them and to yourself. Okay, so If it helps, sell them, no matter what. Sell them, push it. The next thing I want to cover is what doubt actually looks like. Okay, doubt isn't just energy. Okay, it shows up through your behavior, and the prospect can see all of it. Okay, if you doubt yourself, like look out for these things. If you when you guys start hopping on calls, some of you guys already have, and like on the call, if you note yourself, like you dropped the price before they even objected, you soften the ask, so you're like, would you maybe want to think about starting? Or you over explain and you over talk and you talk about the tech of it, the tech part of it. You're trying to prove yourself constantly, and you apologize for the price. When you say the price, you're afraid, or you just let people go. You're like, you don't follow up properly. That's doubt. Okay? And if you doubt yourself, you need to go back to this part right here, where you need to read through what you're selling, research what you're selling, and then basically build that confidence in what you're selling. Right? So that's what doubt looks like. If you see one of these things with yourself, go ahead and go back to the basics. Go research what you're selling and realize the worth of what you're selling. Because you shouldn't be doubting, bro. What you're selling is super fucking valuable. If you research it, you'll know that it's super valuable. And you should have delusional self-belief that what I'm selling right here is 100% what the coach needs. So you shouldn't doubt. You shouldn't fumble. Next thing is desperation. Okay, desperation is the only real pressure. Prospects don't feel pressure from you believing in the product. Okay, like you believing in the product is only going to do positive. It's never going to do any harm, right? But they're going to feel desperation if they sense that you need the deal, that you need it, right? Where you're pushing for it, where you're like not pushing in that way, but where you're like pushing for it unnecessarily, where you don't have confidence on the call, right? Because let me give you guys an example, and if you think about it, it makes sense. If you have 12 sales calls right now booked on your calendar, you're gonna, like, in your mind, you're not gonna have that much pressure, because if you fail the first one, I have 11 more. If you fail the second one, I have like 10 more, right? Not a problem. But as soon as you have like one call only, and you see on your calendar, oh, this is my only shot, bro, I need to close this, and you get on that call and you're speaking with desperation, you're like, you're coming off as desperate. You're going to lose the deal, right? The reason you're not going to come off as nervous and you're not going to come off as desperate that month you have 12 calls booked is because you can walk away, right? You know that you don't need the deal because you have 10 more chances. You have 11 more chances, right? And people can tell, right? People can tell, like, this guy's not desperate, and then they're more likely to buy, right? So the way out of needing deals isn't a better pitch. It's just more conversations in the pipeline, booking more calls, and a mindset that's completely detached. The mindset of like, bro, if this is what I have, if they need it, they're gonna buy it, and if this is a fit for them, I'm obligated to sell them. If not, they're lost. This is how you don't come off as desperate. So again, who is gonna get most of the sales? Tyler or Simon? Obviously Simon, because he believes in the product and he doesn't need the sale, right? So this is why mindset is literally 90% of the game, because all of you guys have access to the same scripts and frameworks and game plans and everything. But the person who has the mindset dialed in, the person who doesn't need the sale, the person who believes in the product is always going to win and always going to outperform the other people. Real quick, guys, I'll be speaking for almost an hour. Do we have any questions? Because I want to cover any questions that you guys have before we move further.
Yes, Haroon, I have some questions.
Yes, bro, go ahead.
First of all, Haroon, thank you so much for the course. It's been absolutely amazing. The content is amazing, and I've been actually benefiting over the past few days.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, so my question that I have for you, Haroon, is let's say One second, I just forgot. Just give me 1 second. Yeah,
No worries.
there was something that I wanted to ask. Oh yeah, regarding the outreach method that we're using. Yeah. So
Yeah.
initially, you know that we're starting with a brand new Instagram account with a small following. For example, like let's say 50 to 100 kind of followers. Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's say you're approaching these coaches who have like really big followings. Would you come off as a scammer or something like that? You know, they won't trust your account. Yeah. So do you think it's better to approach these first few clients with your personal Instagram account, which has like nearly 500 to 600 following? Do you think it's better or just follow with the normal new account?
Honestly, I get your point, and it's true to a degree. Yeah, obviously, if you have 0 followers, and even though you have like a bunch of content on your profile, it can be like, I don't know, maybe you copied someone else's, like you just reposted someone else's reels, right? It can come off as that, but at the same time, if your personal profile doesn't have anything about your business and what you do in the AIDM setters, it's like there is no point of you reaching out with that account. It's better to reach out with an account that has 0 followers, but it shows everything that you do. It shows what you're selling, instead of an account that is private with a picture of you sitting on your couch like this. You get the point?
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
the best
Thank you very much.
option is if you can get your personal account with the followers and turn that shit into like your business profile, because then you'll have followers and you'll have an account with followers and content about what you sell. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And just one more question, please. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. So the niche that I have selected is business coaches. And as we know, like business coaches under general comes, there's a lot of variations. As we know, there are different natures and structures of business. So I just want to know, like, because can I approach e-com clients as well? E-com, people who are doing drop shipping and, drop servicing kind of clients as well, or should I just, stick to business coaches? Like what type of, nature and niche, should I niche it down even further, like just e-com brands only?
It's not that deep, bro. It's not that deep. It's not that many people selling AIDM setters right now. So just sell to
Okay.
ecom owner coaches, if that is what you're selling. You don't have to go super fucking deep of I sell AIDM setters to ecom coaches who eats 3 meals a day and lives in Chicago. You get what I mean? A lot of people they think, oh, niche down, and then they like niche down so like hard where it's like it doesn't make sense, right? And it's early. AIDM setters almost no one is selling them. It's not that deep. Just sell to like
Right.
if you're selling to ecom coaches, just do that. It's not that deep.
No worries. So let me just fix it to business coaches for the next 90 days and approach e-com guys and all kind of business coaches then in general.
No, keep it to ecom coaches. Don't go for all business coaches. Keep it to mostly ecom
Mhm.
coaches if that's what you're gonna go for.
Perfect. Understood. Thank you very much.
Cool, man. All right, boys. You have like 8 hands raised up. I'm only gonna do like Tyler and then I'm gonna do Hassan, because if not, we're gonna have like 30 minutes just on questions and I have a lot more to cover. So I'm just gonna do Tyler and Hassan and then we'll move further, and then Yaroslav, Yasin, Adil, Ryan, and then Raisan. We're gonna just take your questions at the end. Tyler, what's up, bro?
Yo, so when I was talking to a client, right, and I sent him over a Loom because he didn't want to do a call, and in the Loom I said like the reason why I started this company with my dev team or whatever, like obviously I'm bullshitting. I was like, yo, I want to help you help other men transform their lives. That's why I started that. Is that something wrong to say, or is that okay?
Honestly, bro, like he knows, bro. Well, you don't care about his clients. Why would you care about his clients? You're there for the money, right?
I mean,
That-
that's like it's not completely false. Like I see how like if he can reach other people, he can help
Yeah.
other people transform their lives. So it's not really a lie.
Yeah, it's not a lie, but it's like it can come off as a lie because, like,
I see.
let's say you genuinely care about it, right?
Yeah.
He knows. He works online. He knows, bro. Like 99% of people are out there just for the money.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like the main reason you're reaching out to him is not because you're thinking, oh man, let's say his name is Mason. You're thinking, oh, bro, I'm so passionate about helping Mason's clients. No, bro, he knows that you're there for the money, right?
Yeah.
So just like you can say that shit later on, but it's like in the beginning, don't open with that. Hey man, I wanna help your clients get more lean or whatever, right? Even though that's what you care about, just don't say it because like most people, they don't care about other people's clients. Make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Hassan, what's up, man?
Bro, I have two questions. So the first one is around confidence. So like let's say like you're somebody that's not like super tech savvy and you don't know too much about the AI. Like you know what the basic things it can do. But like for example, like how do you like build this confidence around like what you're actually selling if you're not too tech savvy?
So what's your job in the agency? Is your job to create the whole AI setter from scratch? Like, obviously it is, right? Inside of the IBM setter platform. But is it to like do all the tech part? Or is it just signing clients?
It should be both. That's the way I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is both. It is both. But what's your main objective here? Like, is it to like, does your 80% of your time go to like creating the AIDM setter and caring about all of the backend, or is it just like doing the marketing, doing the sales, and then actually just connecting it to people's Instagram and helping them?
I would say it's marketing, 90%.
Yeah, so exactly. So you don't need to know all about the technology. You don't need to know all like when I said like you need to know what you're selling, it doesn't mean that you need to know that the AIDM setter is built on an MCP server of like, you don't need to know about the tech, bro. Like as long as you know how it's built, it connects via ManyChat. It is like it connects through Calendly, and like that's it. That's it. All you gotta know is can this make this coach money or not, right? It's like, let's say you go to a Mercedes dealership. The guy who's the salesman there, he doesn't know like how the car is built, right? He doesn't know that how the engine is built. He didn't build the engine, but he sells it with confidence because he knows that this guy, he wants status, he wants to impress his friends, he wants 450 horsepower or whatever he wants, and then he sells it with confidence. He doesn't care about how the car is built and how the engine and the gearbox is built. He doesn't know all of that, right? You don't need to know all of that. Confidence doesn't come from knowing how what you're selling is built down to its finest detail. It just comes from knowing if this is what they need or not. Obviously, again, you got to know how the AIDM setter is built. Like roughly, you got to know. But you don't need to know as much as Joshua, the developer. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. 100%.
So that's it, bro. You don't need to know every single small detail.
Okay, perfect. And the other question I have is I sent out a demo to a guy. Like I made him a reel actually. Like I was just using like his account as a demonstration. This guy actually ended up reaching back out to me and he's like, yeah, I want the demo. So I sent him the demo. After that, he's just like, he goes cold. Like he's just not showing much interest. Like he's like, yeah, it's okay. Like, yeah, it's nice. It replies quick. I was like, it can reply like within 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I can customize that part. That's not a problem. After he's like, oh, appreciate it. And he just goes cold after. So like, would you still recommend like with these type of leads, you still follow up with them or when you can tell like they're not really interested or?
So let's analyze what you did there. He said that it's okay. It replies fast. And like I said, sales is like 80% asking questions and then 20% talking, right?
Yeah.
Instead of asking him, okay, if it was okay, like what would you change about it? You just said like, yeah, it replies in 2 minutes, and then you went cold, right? Do you think that if you ask him the question of like, when he told you like, yeah, it's okay, it replies quick. Do you think instead of you saying, yeah, it replies in 2 minutes, you said, so if it's okay, what could be better about it? And what else would you want in it? Do you think he would be more likely to reply?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, because like I just followed up right away with how many DMs are you getting roughly per week? And then he just ghosted me from there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of late now. I'm not saying just drop it completely, but it's like if you ask that question as soon as he gave that reply, he would be more likely to get a reply back. And maybe you wouldn't get a reply back. Like it's not that You could ask this perfect question and then it's 100% guaranteed to get a reply. But the chances of it would increase.
Mm,
Does that make sense?
yeah, 100%.
So that's it, bro.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, boys. Like, we covered a lot so far. First of all, is this stuff valuable for you guys? Does this help?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. I have a couple of more things, like maybe another hour or 45 minutes of things to cover. Do you want me guys to, I don't want to overwhelm you guys. If your guys are okay with it, I would go ahead and do the whole, like, another hour of like going through stuff, because I have everything written out. Are you guys gonna get overwhelmed with another hour of this stuff?
Totally okay.
No, we're good.
No,
Yeah.
All good?
no.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me go and get some water then, because I've been speaking for an hour. I'm just going to get some
Alright.
cold water. Give me like 2 minutes. My bad. You guys couldn't hear me. Can you hear me now? Perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I covered, I think, mindset, what sales is, what sales isn't. Yeah. Next thing I'm going to cover is the offer. Okay, what we're actually selling. So, here's the thing you need to know. Like, yeah, we're selling AIDM setters. Okay, we all know that. That's what we're selling. But nobody wants an AIDM setter. Okay? No business owner has ever woken up thinking, oh man, I need an AI in my inbox. No, they don't think that. But they wake up and they think, I want more book calls without hiring another person. I want to stop dealing with the headache of this human that I have, right? I want to stop drowning in DMs. I don't want to wake up and check my phone and notification. There's like 50 plus DMs that I got to reply to. That's what they want. They don't wake up thinking, like, if you're sick, you don't wake up thinking, oh man, I want a painkiller. No, you wake up, you think, I wish, or all I want to do is I want to get well. I don't want to be sick anymore, right? It's the same thing. The AI is the mechanism, just like the painkiller is the mechanism, right? It's not the offer. If you sell, if you sell the mechanism, and that's what you're just selling, all you're selling is an AIDM setter, you're competing with every other agency on price, right? And when you're competing on price, we all know that the Indians are going to outperform us, right? You're never going to be able to win because some guy in India is going to do it for like $500, right? So you can never compete on price. If you sell the outcome, you're the only one in the room, right? Because most agencies out there, they just sell. Or here's the thing about AI, okay? Maybe not an SMMA, but AI. Most guys who are selling AI are AI guys. They're developers. They're builders. A builder is not a marketer, right? And these builders have no fucking idea how to sell. I've been in the AI agency space for over a year now. So I have seen it over and over again. Almost no one knows how to sell. Everyone is competing on I sell AI. But the ones that are selling the outcome, like the ones that are saying, I can book you more appointments, I can help you fire a DM setter, are always going to book more appointments because they're going to be the only one in the room. right? Especially in this niche. Again, because most people in this niche are builders, they're not marketers. They know that how to build the tech and all of that shit, but they don't know anything of selling and marketing, right? So sell the outcome, and you're going to separate yourself from 99% of people who are just selling the AI, right? And what does selling the outcome mean? It means basically hopping on a call and presenting your offer as, I'm going to help you book more calls, instead of, I'm going to sell you an AI DM setter, right? Next thing, never say chatbot, okay? This word, like I have tested it, and when I say chatbot, this just makes them picture like a shitty chatbot from 2019, like some chatbot with, like, you know, these three options, like click 1 to get help, click 2 to get to a human, right? This is what, even if that's not what we're selling, and even if what we're selling is a chatbot, this is what it makes them picture it as, right? If you say this one word, you lost the frame before you even explain anything, right? Same for bot or automation, right? Everyone and their uncle is selling bot, automation, AI agent nowadays, right? So you need to frame it as something new and something different that they never heard of. That's why I call like, for my agency, I call it a cloned AI DM setter over just an AI setter, right? Because AI setter, it's not, the word is not saturated, right? It's still a new word. But it's like, if I want to go even deeper, cloned AI DM setter. It explains what it does, right? It's a clone of them, but in their DMs, right? And also it's a name that no one have ever heard of. But again, don't fucking overdo it. Don't call it like something that no one even knows what means, right? Don't call it something weird. Like cloned AI DM setter, even AI DM setter is okay, at least for the next 3 to 6 months. And then that word is going to get saturated as well. When I was selling AI receptionist, I was one of the first few people who started selling it, right? And in the beginning, I just used to say like AI receptionist, AI agent that answers your calls. And I used to get the sale, and I used to generate interest. After some time, 6 months later, when everyone and their uncle was selling AI receptionist, I said the same word. They were like, yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, I don't need that shit. And then I changed my word. And sometimes I didn't even used to say AI. I was just like, it's a after-hour receptionist or after-hour software that picks up your calls. Notice how we're selling the same thing. I'm still selling what I sold. I'm still selling an AI receptionist, but I just say it differently, right? So never say the word chatbot, never say things that they have heard before. Come up with a unique name for it. Like, for example, AI DM setter, you can use, or cloned AI DM setter, or something that explains what it is. Don't like overdo it, right? And also I cover this in the offer module as well. So what you're actually selling, if you're not selling an AI DM setter, what are you selling then? You're selling speed and you're selling less headache, okay? A lead who messages this coach at 11 p.m. gets an answer at 11:05 or 11:06 or 11:07, right? Not Thursday morning, not the day after, right? Leads go cold fast. This is what you need to know. Leads go, like, there's a real study from Harvard Business Review that shows that a lead who doesn't get replied to within 5 minutes is 300 times more likely to not buy. So if you can reply to a lead within 5, this is very big, right? This is a very big selling point for AI DM setters, right? Because if their AI DM setter can reply within 5 minutes, their chances of them converting the lead goes up by 300%. You can go and search this up. This is a real study, right? So leads go cold fast. Someone that is messaging in the next 5 minutes is in their peak intent, right? Then after that, they maybe scroll, or something happens in their life, or their mom calls them and they're eating dinner, and now all of a sudden they're thinking about other things. And since they didn't get a reply like this, the coach is more likely to lose the prospect, right? So this is a huge selling point. We're selling them speed. We're selling them fast replies. And fast replies are going to convert more clients, right? And this is like one of the easiest thing to prove them, because you just show them their own reply times. right? You tell them, like, if any coach, bro, like, and like if you talk to an AI, if you talk to an online coach, let's say you're talking to a fitness coach and he has a DM setter, and you ask him like, yo, what's the reply times on your DM setter? He's never gonna say 1 minute. Maybe a couple of hours, maybe from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. the DM setter replies within 7-8 minutes, but he's never gonna say within 2 minutes, within 3 minutes, right? And again, because of that, he's losing deals. So the biggest thing for them is that this is going to reply like this, and it's going to get them more deals, right? And then the second thing you're selling them on is less headache. Whether they're doing their DMs themselves or they have a DM setter, it's still a headache, right? A human, let's say, have a DM setter. A human needs to be managed, trained, to be hired, to be dealt with, right? This takes up a lot of time and energy. And all this time and energy is money for them, because time is money, right? So if they're using their time instead of creating content and coaching their clients and getting the results, they're using it on dealing with their shitty DM setter. They're losing money, right? An AI DM setter is trained once and installed once, and it books calls forever. You train it once, that's it. Right? It's an AI. It's a robot. Next thing, consistency. A human setter has good days and bad days. They're sharp on message 5 and bored by message 200, right? They get sick, they go on holiday, they have a row with their partner, and they reply like a robot, right? Then they quit in 1 month, they quit in month 7, and then they take your scripts with them. And yours answers like message 1 and 4,000 the same way, right? A human cannot answer 4,000 messages the same way they reply to their message 1, right? Because they're going to get tired, they're going to need to sleep, they're not going to be consistent. That's just how we are as humans, right? If you can, like, I don't know if you can notice this, but if you think about it, you can notice it, right? The energy I had, because I've been speaking for over an hour, the energy I had at the beginning of this call is slowly starting to go down, because I've been speaking for a long time. I'm a human. I can't stay that consistent, right? But if I were a robot, I would be speaking like this, right? And my performance wouldn't go down. Same thing with the human setters. They're good, and then they go down, and it's completely natural. Like an AI never does that. And consistency is very important in business. Capacity. A human setter works 40 hours a week. AI DM setter works every fucking hour. There is not an hour that doesn't work, right? Every time zone, every weekend, every Christmas day, doesn't matter, right? You can have unlimited conversations at the same time. 10 DMs or 400 DMs, it's the same exact thing. Which means that if a coach want to scale, right? Because if a coach want to scale, they're going to start getting more DMs. And if they get more DMs, they're going to have to hire more humans. And if they hire more humans, they're going to pay more money, and they're going to deal with more headache, right? But if they have an AI, it's the same thing. An AI can handle 1 DM or 500 DMs, right? So they don't need more setters. They can use the same one AI setter instead of hiring 5 more and dealing with their headache and paying them and firing and hiring and managing them, right? Their growth stops being capped by how many human setters they can afford, right? What it costs them not to buy. Here is what they're missing out on if they don't buy. Every unanswered DM is a lead they already paid for, right? They spent money on either ads, or they spent time and money on creating content, or they spent years of building an audience to get that one message. And then it just sits there, right? The message sits there or goes to whoever answers first, right? They pay a human setter that costs them a lot of money, time, headache, and still lose leads because the human is not fast enough and is not good enough at certain times, right? So they're paying money and they're still dealing with a headache, and they're using their time on managing the setter. They're still losing leads, right? So this AI DM setter, like, if they don't buy it, they're not choosing between spending money and saving money. It's not a matter of, oh, if I buy this DM setter, I'm going to be spending money. Or if I don't buy this DM setter, I'm going to be saving money. They're choosing between either paying you or paying nothing to lose more. Because if they pay you, they're going to get more leads. If they're not paying you, they're going to lose more leads, right? Simple as that. here is the maths on this. And Hassan, you asked me like, how can I get more confident? Take notes on this, bro, because this is like, after you see selling AIDM setters like this, is going to change the whole confidence thing. You're going to have more belief. At least it did that for me. Okay. So an AIDM setter, let's say you sell it for $5,000. You're speaking with a fitness coach or a business coach, right? You're speaking with a business coach. Your AIDM setter is $5,000 a month. The business coach who's selling coaching on business, his mentorship is $5,000. So if your AIDM setter only books him 10 sales calls, which is nothing if he has enough volume and he sold it to the right person, these 10 sales calls are booked like this is $50,000 in his pipeline. This is $50,000 because these are 10 potential clients for $5K each, which is $50,000, right? And let's say he has shit closing rates. He's very bad at closing. And he only closed like 3 out of these 10 people. He just made $15,000, right? So he spent $5,000 on this on this AIDM setter. He made back $15,000. His profit is $10,000, right? So look at this picture right here. Take a screenshot of this if you're feeling like unconfident in what you're selling. This is you, this is the client. The client is, this should be the other way around. Let me change this right now. So the client is paying you $5,000, right? This is what goes to you, and you get them back $15,000. And this is a 200% ROI. They make their money back 200%. They make their money back 3 times because they spend 5K and then they make back 15K. Right? So if you're feeling like, oh, I'm not confident in what I'm selling, this is what you're selling, bro. You're selling them an AIDM setter for $5,000 a month. You only booked them 3 calls and they close. Sorry, you only booked them 10 calls and they only closed 3 out of that. That's $15,000. Booking 10 calls it's not that hard. For a coach that has volume, it's not that hard. Before I started to actually decide to sell this AIDM setter, I built one for myself because I had this exact problem, right? I built it for myself. In the first week, I barely trained it. I barely did anything with it. It booked me 10 calls. My mentorship back, I used to offer mentorship on starting an AI agency. It used to cost $5,000 to work with me. And I was like, bro, it booked me 10 calls. It booked me $50,000. And even if someone charged like $5,000 for it a month, I would easily buy. Because in 1 week, in only 1 week, it booked me 10 calls. Right? So within 1 week, I can make my money back. So if you're feeling unconfident about what you're selling and why they should buy, this is exactly why they should buy. And then there is a comparison as well, right? Hassan, this is especially for you, bro. This is destiny. You ask this question, this comes up. So a human setter, 3 to 10K a month, okay? DM setter, fraction of the cost, okay? Hours, a human setter works 8 hours, only weekdays, most of them. Some of them work weekends as well. AI setter works 24/7 every single day. Doesn't matter what happens. Speed to lead. A human setter, as I said, speed to lead is very important. Like within 5, if you have a lead, reply to it within 5 minutes, 300% more chance of closing it. After 5 minutes, 300% decrease in chances of closing them, right? So when a human is using 15 to 60 minutes, or sometimes, bro, they even use more, right? Sometimes my setter used to have 5 setters. Sometimes I use 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours. Sometimes they were sleeping, right? 8 hours, 9 hours. I would lose the lead most of the time, right? AI setter under 60 seconds, right? And then obviously we add technically can reply within 60 seconds, but we add human style delays of 1 to 2 minutes, right? Voice match. It's very important for a coach that their setter sounds like them, right? A human is always gonna sound off, right? Guys, whoever is in here, let's say Hassan been watching my content for 1 year, and let's say Hassan even lives with me. And I tell him, bro, 24/7, you have to speak exactly like me. It's not going to work, bro, because Hassan is Hassan. I am Haroon. He can't, even though he knows me, he knows how I speak, he analyzes how I speak, he can't speak like me 24/7. It's impossible, right? AI setter can do that because it's AI. You train it once with the previous chats that we upload to it, boom, it can speak like you forever, right? Sick days. A human setter is always going to get sick. AI setter never going to get sick. Training. Human setter is always going to need to get retrained. AI setter once, and that's it. If you want to add something more to it, you add it, and that's it. Locked, right? Tracking. Human setter is going to track everything manually. It's going to be inconsistent. AI setter, you have everything on a dashboard, right? So one line to sum up what we sell, you're not selling AI, you're selling the money that's currently rotting in their inbox. You're selling them the headache, the relief of the headache that they have every single day. Your job is to make them see the leak, then make it feel like expensive, right? So what I mean by this is you make them realize like, okay, one client is worth $5,000 to you. Let's say you're losing 5 of them a week. That's $25,000 that you're losing out on, right? That's how you make it feel expensive. So your job is to make them see the leak, make it feel expensive, then you show them that you are the obvious way to stop it with an AIDM setter, and that's the entire offer. Make sense? And this is how you build confidence as well in what you're selling, because you compare it to a human. You do the maths, right? Next thing I want to cover is outreach. So outreach is a volume game before it's a skill game, okay? You cannot improve a message you only sent 9 times, 10 times. A lot of people are like, they send 10 messages, 20 messages, 15 messages, and then they're like, oh man, I'm not getting any replies. How can I improve this? You haven't done enough to improve whatever you're doing, right? Because it takes a lot of messages to actually get real data, right? You need enough messages sent to the spot, like the pattern is like where you can realize, like where you can see a pattern, right? If you're sending 9 messages and none of them get opened, it's like there is not really a pattern because you haven't sent enough messages. But if you send 1,000 messages and you see the same pattern that 1,000 of them haven't been opened, now there is a pattern. Now you can start and tweak on what you're sending, right? Beginners, what they do is they rewrite their whole script after 20 messages because they're like, oh, I sent 20 messages and this is not working. You're not like, yeah, you should read on data, but 20 messages is not enough data. Okay, it's not. 20 messages tells you nothing. 200 messages tells you a little bit. 500 messages tells you more, and 1,000 messages tells you everything. Okay, do volume first, then work smart. Do volume, like do as much as you can, and then analyze everything you have done, and then you're gonna like see patterns, and then you can iterate from there, right? A lot of people, they hear this like saying online, oh bro, don't work hard, I work smart, and then they try and working smart before they even work hard, and then it doesn't work out, right? A lot of you guys probably know who Alex Ramosi is, but there's a saying from Alex Ramosi, do so much volume, it becomes impossible to fail, right? Let's say you have a 1% conversion rate with your setter, with your AIDM setters, with your outreach. If you do 100 messages, you will not get a client. If you do 1,000 messages, you will get 1 client, right? So it's all about volume. You can even have shit conversion rates, shit reply rates, shit open rates, shit profile. But if you know that it's all a volume game, and out of every 1,000 message, 1 of them is going to convert, then in your mind, it won't be like this, oh, I got to fix it. You're just going to be like, oh, I just got to do 1,000 messages, and I'll get paid $3,000. Oh, I got to do another 1,000 messages and I get paid $3,000, right? So it's a volume game. It's a number game. It's not like, and then, yeah, after we done a lot of messages, then we can start iterating. We're like, okay, cool. So out of every 1,000 message, I get 1 client. Now, how can I make these 1,000 messages more efficient? What can I change inside of here? Oh, let me look back. Oh, people don't reply because of this. People don't reply because of that. Let me fix that. And now every 1,000 message you send, you get 4 or 5 clients out of that. And then you're like, okay, cool. Let me send 1,000 more. And then you send 1,000 more, you get 5 more clients. And then after sending another 1,000, then you're like, okay, let me now try and iterate this. Let me now try and tweak on the message, because I believe that I can get more than 5 clients for 1,000 messages, right? So if I only send 10 messages, And now I'm like, yo, shit, I'm not getting replies. And I'm trying to iterate and I'm trying to like fix the outreach message that I'm sending. It won't work because there's not enough data, right? I need more data so I can actually go ahead and iterate, right? So again, do volume first, then work smart. Do volume first, then iterate. Because if not, you have no real data. You're just changing based on what you believe. You're just changing based on like you're shooting in the blind. Like you don't know what works and what doesn't work, right? So always do a fuck ton of volume first, then analyze it, and then realize like sense patterns, and then see what is not working and what is working. Next thing is don't pitch in the first message. All of you guys already know this, but a pitch in the first message is like proposing on a first date, right? None of you guys will go out on a girl, like with a girl and propose on the first date, bro. It's fucking weird, right? They don't know you, they don't trust you, they didn't ask, right? Every stranger's inbox is full of, hey, I help businesses like yours get more clients. Instantly gets ignored. I can open my inbox right now and show you I have so many people. I get like 10 DMs a day from people. Hey man, I can redo your thumbnails. Hey man, I help business coaches do this. Bro, I never asked. I don't know who the fuck you are. No, right? Your first message has one job. Offer a free demo, okay? Offer them something for free before selling, right? That's why instead of sending, hey, I help coaches with DMs, no, send them, hey, I already made you an AI setter. Can I send it? Right? You're not pitching. You're not asking. Right? You're giving them something for free. Right? First time you speak to a girl, you don't go down on your knees start proposing. Fuck no. First time you speak to a girl, maybe you invite her on a date. Try and give her something instead of trying to make her commit her whole life to you in the first touch point. You don't do that. Right? Same thing here. A first message pitch triggers sales resistance, right? They're like, oh, I'm being sold to, no reply, right? Guarantee you, like, you guys have probably been called by these insurance companies, phone companies. They call you, and as soon as they say, hey, I'm calling from XYZ Insurance, you're like, fuck, man, I'm being sold to. You hang up, right? But if they called you and they didn't say that we're calling from insurance company, they would just say, hey, Haroon, or hey, Suleiman, I see that you have a BMW 5 Series. How would you like 3 months free insurance on that? They are more like Suleiman would be more likely to reply to that because in his mind, there's no sales resistance. No one called and said, hey, I'm calling from XYZ Insurance. I want to sell you some shit, right? No, he led with value. So, Solomon, I see that your hand is up, but I'm going to spare the questions till the end, bro. So yeah, that's that. And then a first message pitch triggers sales resistance. You get no reply. A first message free demo offer does not trigger that sales resistance. It's like, shit, man. He already made me this AI DM setter. He says a free demo, and he also says that if I don't like it, I can tell him to fuck off. It's like, what do I have to lose? Yeah, sure. Versus you send them a message saying, yo, bro, AI DM setter, let's hop on a 15-minute call. It's too big of a ask, bro. Like, people are busy. It's too big of a ask. You don't go to someone in the street and tell them, yo, bro, you look cool, man. Let me get coffee with you. I need 1 hour of your time. No, bro. They would say, who the fuck is you? Obviously not, right? But yeah, like you gotta lead with a free demo. Don't lead with the shit of like, hey man, I help XYZ coaches. Let's hop on a call. No. And yeah, after that, you offer a simple 30-minute call, right? Because after they've seen the demo, they go from cold to warm. They go from cold to warm, right? Now is the time to offer a simple 30-minute call to walk them through how it works, right? They are much more likely to hop on a call now versus when you message them, hey, I help coaches, like you reply to DMs, right? 99% of people that I've seen sending cold DMs get straight to the pitch, and I have never seen it work, right? We only offer a call after building trust and taking them from cold to warm, right? So the goal of outreach is not the sale. It's not even the call. is just a reply. That's it. That's it. Right? There is you shouldn't send messages in the hopes of like, oh, I gotta close this client, oh, I gotta get the sale. Right? Every message should be judged on one question. Does this make replying easy? Long messages, big asks, and links, all this shit reduce replies, right? I don't remember who it was who asked in the community, like, can I send a link on the first call? I don't remember who it was, but it's just too much. It's
That was
too
me.
much. Yeah, it's probably Suleiman. I was looking at you, bro, and I was thinking, was it Suleiman or not? But yeah, it's too much, right? It's like, again, it's just too much. Get the reply, send the demo, and then get them on a call, because you take them from cold to warm, right? You have to warm them. Like, you cannot send a message asking for a call on the first touch point. Then we have this one, and this one is big. Feeling like nothing is working. The first weeks are the worst return you'll ever get. I bet like most of you guys are just starting out sending DMs, you're barely getting replies. Everything's just, fuck, man, oh, this is not working, bro. You'll send like 100 DMs and hear nothing back. But this is completely normal. It's not a signal that what you're doing is wrong, because you haven't done enough yet, right? After some weeks, when it compounds, because your week one follow-ups that you've been sending start landing, your profile is more developed, you've been posting more content, you're getting more followers and getting more reach, you understand the game more, you've done more volume, you're building consistency, that's when you start seeing some results, right? But nearly everyone quits inside of that gap, right before it turns. If you know the gap is coming, like I'm telling you right now, this is gonna happen, right? And if you know this, you can survive this, right? That's the only reason I'm telling you this as well. I don't benefit telling you guys it's gonna be hard, because most of you guys are gonna quit, right? It benefits more to tell me you guys like, yeah, just do more and you're gonna land a client soon. No, it's not like that. The reality is it's hard. It's gonna take a lot of time. You suck in the beginning, like we all suck in the beginning of what we do, right? It's gonna take time. You're gonna have to build momentum, and then it's gonna come, right? So when you know that it's gonna be hard, it becomes easier, right? This is a picture right here. Like you're sending DMs, you're sending DMs, you're sending DMs, you're sending DMs, right? And then you stop right here. You've been sending like 947 DMs, and you stop right here, and you were just like one DM away from a client, but you stop, and now you're going back. If you could see yourself from a third person's perspective, you would feel shit, bro. You would feel like, oh, I was so close. He can't see this guy who's walking back. He can't see this picture, right? So he's like, oh, I've been digging from here to here to here to here. There's nothing. I'm just gonna go back, right? But if you can see this picture from third person perspective, you'll be like, oh shit, man. I was just like one dig away, right? So next time you're doing DMs, have this picture. I don't know, take a screenshot of this. Have this in your room or whatever, right? This is what the journey is gonna look like. You'd never know. Maybe like you've been sending a lot of DMs, you've been doing a lot of work. Maybe you're one DM away. That's just how the game works. Okay, there is no other way. This is just how the game works. You never know for sure when you're going to sign a client. Only way to find out is keep digging. Only way to find out for this guy if the diamonds are there or not is if he dug one more time, but he didn't, so I didn't find out, right? Next thing is the money is in the follow-up. Most people follow up once, then decide that the person isn't interested because they don't going to reply, right? Following up can feel like being annoying, but it's not, right? No reply almost never means no, right? It means busy, buried, didn't see the message, forgot to reply, right? Most deals land after the third follow-up or the fifth follow-up sometimes, right? Fourth follow-up. Follow-ups don't have to be overcomplicated. You don't have to send the perfect follow-up. All you're gonna do is send them like a nudge of like, yo, did you see this? Yo, I'm still around if you need me. That works. You can even send them a GIF, like, like, yo, you're still here? It works, okay? The comfortable amount of following up is the amount that loses the deals, okay? This is from my previous like 5K mentorship that I used to have, teaching people how to sell AI receptionists. This is one of my top students. I think he did 30K or 27K or something in one of his top months. Here is what he said. Update on the sales call. The deal went in. I followed up with them 3 times, and they said they're ready. The money's in the follow-ups. Don't ever be afraid to follow up multiple times. I used to follow up once and then leave it to not come off as annoying. But follow up at least 5 times if they don't reply. And then he collected a 1.5K mint and the rest after the AI is delivered. So he closed a $3,000 deal just by following up 3 times. Imagine if you stopped at the second. He was like, yeah, man, this guy isn't answering, bro. Oh, this doesn't work. You wouldn't sign that $3,000 client. And this is one of the reasons he hit 27K. I don't remember how much it was. I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but 27K or something with the AI receptionist agency. And he was he was the top one-on-one student that I had. So outreach summed up, and this is one of my sales mentors that I used to have back in the days. He told me this. Outreach isn't about finding someone who wants to buy today. It's about being in front of enough people that you're there when one of them does, right? Because not everyone is going to want to buy today. But if you're there every single day, you're going to eventually find someone who want to buy today, right? So that's what outreach is. Now, the last thing we're going to cover, this call is getting very fucking long. I'm speaking for 1 hour and 40 minutes. But the last thing we're going to cover is the discovery call, because this is the last process, right? You fix your mindset. You have your profile. You're sending your outreach messages, right? This is the last part, the sales call, the discovery call, I call it. So the structure of the discovery call is simple. You start the call by setting the frame. You walk them through the discovery part, which is asking the question. You discover about their business, right? That's what discovery means. Then you present your offer if it's the right sale, if it's the right fit, and then you ask for the sale. Now, the call is not where you prove that AI DM setters work, right? You already sent out the demo before the call. They already seen that. They already tested that, right? So you're not convincing them that the AI can do this, that the AI can reply back, right? That's already proved, right? The call has one job: make it about their business, present the offer, and then ask for the money. Beginners, what they do is they waste the call reselling the whole concept. They go in with the AI DM setter can do this, it can do that, it can connect to your calendar. They already know that shit. Okay, they already know that. They probably watch your content, or they have 100% tested the demo. Okay, so if someone books a call after testing the demo, they're already interested. So you need to act like it. Don't act like they're not interested and I gotta get them interested. They're already interested. Move on from there. Okay, so here's the opening. Okay, I'm gonna walk you guys through the script. You guys can go find the script in the sales module, but I'm gonna walk you guys through it. So we have the opening, which is basically 2 minutes of small talk, and then you frame how the call is gonna go. So they hop on and you're like, yo, hey man, how are you doing? Oh yeah, where are you based? I'm based in Texas. Oh cool, man. How's your day going? Cool. How's your week going? Cool. 2 minutes max, and then you move on. You don't sit there and talk about the weather and politics and why Trump did this and why Trump. Just get to the point, right? Respect their time, respect your time. Then set the agenda, right? So they're not sat there waiting for the pitch, right? So you say, real quick, before we get into it, I want to use this call properly. My goal is to understand your current DM setup, walk through how yours will be built, and if it makes sense, we'll talk next steps. Sounds good? Sounds good. Now, this sets the frame of how the call is going to go. And it tells them how the call is going to go, so it doesn't end up with them asking you all of the questions and you sitting there answering, you losing complete frame of the call, you didn't even ask a question, and then the call ends up with, let me think about it. This has happened to me many, many times. So always set the frame at the beginning. Then we have the discovery, which is 12 to 15 minutes in this order, okay? You ask them, what made you interested in AI DM setters? What's the actual problem? Oh, because my setter right now is like, I'm sick and tired of him. He's like taking too much time off. He's slow, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So walk me through your current setup. You said that you have a setter, right? So how does the setter look like? Oh, sorry, not how the setter looks like. How does the process look like? So yeah, my process looks like this. We get a DM and then we reply to all of them. And then, we use the sales framework. Okay, cool. So if they have a setter, you ask them, okay, so how long the setter been working? Okay, how many DMs do they reply to in a day? What's their pay? If it's during themselves, you ask them how much time of your day, how much time are you spending every single day replying to DMs, right? You get the pay now. They're gonna tell you, oh, I'm spending 3 hours a day. They're gonna tell you why they need you. You're not going to tell them, yeah, you need this because of this. You're asking them the questions and they're telling you, I'm spending 3 hours a day on this. And they're telling you, and they're telling themselves as well why they need you, right? And you ask them what your weekly DM volume, how fast are DMs getting replied to, where's your current setup falling short, what are you selling, what's your main offer, what's your price point. This is important to ask. Like, what is your price point, right? This is also important to ask. What's your rough monthly revenue? Because without this, I'm gonna show you. I have a separate slide about this, but yeah. And then if your DMs were handled perfectly, what would that look like? This is an important question as well. Okay, because then they tell you, oh, it will look like me not having to deal with a human setter. It will look like me not sitting there and going through all of this headache, right? They're telling you what life will look like with an AI setter. So that's why you ask this question. So they should be talking like 70% of this, like in the discovery section. If you're talking more than they're talking, you're not learning anything. Okay? Your job is to learn about their business here. So shut up and let them talk. Here we go. Don't skip the money questions. So what beginners do is they pussy out of these questions. They're like they pussy out of like, what's their pay structure? What's your monthly revenue? They're like, oh, I don't want to ask personal questions, bro. No, it's not how it works. Okay, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you in a second why you should ask these questions. Because if you don't ask these questions, you are going to price completely, like you're going to price blindly, and either two things are going to happen. Either you're going to scare them off with your price because you charge too much, or you're going to leave a lot of money on the table, right? Because you don't know how much they're making. Nobody's ever been offended by it, right? When you give a reason of why you're asking, which is going to be, it helps me figure out what makes sense for you, they're not going to be offended by it, right? The setter's pay is the single most useful number you'll get, okay? If they got a setter, like here is most setters, I can tell you guys this, okay, because I'm a coach myself, but most setters are on 7.5% commission. So every deal that they bring in and the closes, they get 7.5% commission on that. And then usually like the good setters, or like if a setter is not complete beginner, they get like a base pay. So 7.5%, and then for example, $2,000, okay? So coach making $20,000 a month will be paying $1,500 in only commissions, and then $2,000 besides it, right? So that's, how much is that? Like $3,500, right? So now you know that they're paying $3,500 to their setter. So now it's like when you pitch $3,000 or $5,000, it's not a scary number to pitch anymore, because you know that it's not going to be a new expense. It's the same price they're paying to their setter, but they're going to get a setter which is 5 times better. Okay? I have a student inside of here, I'm not going to name names, but he was on the call and he skipped the pay question completely because it felt scary, right? He quoted $900 a month just to be safe. He signed the client and then found out on the onboarding call that the client has been paying the setter $3,000 plus a commission. $3,000 base pay plus a 7.5% commission. So he left out thousands of dollars on the table just because he was scared of asking that one question, because it was awkward to ask, right? This is why it's very, very important that you ask on these calls, like, what are you roughly making? All right, give a reason. Don't make it weird. Like, don't ask like out of the blue, yo, what are you making? Last, like, so to make it, to figure out what makes more sense for you, like how much are you making right now, right? Then reframe the demo they already tested, right? Because you already sent them a demo, right? And before you get into the presenting what you have to offer and all of that, you say this real quick before I get into what I have to offer. The demo you tested was generic. It was not trained on your offer. It was not trained on your ICP. It was not trained on your past chats, not your framework, right? What you tested was maybe 10% of what yours will be, right? Once you build yours, it's a full clone of you running 24/7. Now, this is one of the smartest lines in the whole script because it does two things, right? Whatever they thought of the demo, you just told them that it's nothing compared to the complete version. So if they thought that the demo was very good, and you tell them, yeah, this was just like 10% of what you'll get, they'll be like, shit, man, this demo was like only 10%. Oh, this is going to be so good, right? Or if they weren't impressed, they're gonna like, you're telling them that this wasn't the real thing, right? So it's doing two things. Either if they liked it or didn't like it, this question is still serving both of these things, right? So never skip that. Then you show them the stack, right? You show them, oh, this is what you get, blah, 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 right? And then if you have an AI DM setter that you connected to an Instagram account, let them test it, okay? So when you hop on a call, tell them, have you tested an AI setter before? Like a real one that is connected to an Instagram? Oh, no, I haven't. Okay, cool. Go ahead. I'm sending you an account right now. Message it this keyword and then connect it, right? Only do it. Like you can set it up on a burner account, right? All of you guys can go ahead and set it up. You're gonna have to get like an Instagram account, build one, then a ManyChat, and then you can use it as a burner on these calls. Okay, have them book a call on the screen, right? Because nothing you say is gonna beat them watching it happen live right there and then. Okay, so if there is no like connected setup, if you don't have a DM setter, a DM setter that you connected to an Instagram, don't do it. But if you have one, do it. Okay, because it's gonna show them live what it looks like. And yeah, the last part, after you have showed them what it is, show them the demo and everything. So what you're gonna say is, so the way this works, we build you the exact system, we just walked you through, train on your voice and offer, live within 3 days, $3,000 a month is the price. And then you shut up. Just shut up, okay? Don't talk, just like to make this easier, it's gonna be super awkward. When you say the price and you shut up, it's gonna be super awkward. In your mind, just like count to like 10, 20, whatever, okay? And this is one of the hardest things to do because the silence of after you shutting up is like very awkward, right? It's very uncomfortable. Beginners, what they do is they start filling in this gap with like, but yeah, like here's what they do. And here's what I used to do as well. So yeah, what we covered here is $3,000. And then there's silence, right? So it's awkward. And then like, yeah, but we can be flexible, or what do you think about that? Just shut up, okay? They start discounting and they like start trying to prove themselves before the prospect have even said anything. Because when you say the price, after speaking for 30 minutes, presenting what this can offer them, or what you have to offer, let them process. Let them process like and justify in their mind. Because what's going on in their mind is like, okay, AI DM setter, okay, cool. He's going to reply to all of my DMs. It's $15,000 though. Oh, but it's an investment, right? This is what's going on in their mind. So whoever speaks first after the price loses. Just keep this in mind. That whoever speaks first after the price loses. So just shut up, okay? And let them process and let them justify. And then you close, okay? This is very important as well. Just because this is the last part, don't neglect this, because here you either make the money or lose the money. So what you say is, okay, cool. For line on the numbers, I can send over the payment link right now, but have your setter live in 3 days. Should I drop the link here on the chat or on Instagram? Right? So you're giving them an option. You're not saying, oh, can I drop the chat? Can I drop the link here? They can tell you yes or no, right? You're giving them two options. Should I do it in Instagram or should I do it in the chat right here? So in their mind, they have two options. They don't have a yes or no. They don't have like, yeah, I'll pay it later. It's like Instagram or chat. And then they tell you, yeah, just put it in the chat. And then they pay it, right? So very, very important. Send the link while you're still on the call. Have them pay live right there and then. Every minute between the yes and the payment is going to give them cold feet, right? Happened so many times. You had the perfect call, perfect fucking call. Everything made sense. But since I let them fuck off after the call, they start thinking about it. And then they start like, oh man, like, and sometimes they just disappear. And after disappearing, they're not, like what I told you guys is a prospect is warm or cold, right? I warmed them up for 45 fucking minutes. I got them on this call. They were ready to buy. They told me, yeah, I'm just going to pay it later. Just send it over to me. And I lost them, right? Because they went from warm to cold, right? So get them to pay right there and then. If they're like, yeah, I'm just going to pay this later, just tell them like tell them straight up, like you're an online coach yourself. You're in the coaching space. You know what it means when people are like, yeah, I'm going to pay this later. They never pay. Not because they're like, I'm not saying that you're trying to like fuck me over or you're trying to like just like try and get out of here, but you're going to get cold feet. We both know it. You've been in the situation yourself when you're selling your fitness coaching, right? So tell them right there, like if they ask, and then send them the onboarding document right away. Make sure after they paid $3,000 out of their pocket, they get something, because the seller is going to take 3 days, right? Give them something as soon as they pay, right? If not, they're going to get cold feet. So make them invested ASAP, right? If you send over the onboarding process and they start filling it out, like set a deadline on it as well. Just say like, if you can get this within 24 to 48 hours, this onboarding document back to me, I'm going to be able to create and have your AI setter live. So it's best if you do it within 1 or 2 days. Because let's say we have 2 scenarios. Number 1 scenario, you collected the payment, right? And then they're like, yeah, just send me the onboarding process. And you send it, and it goes 5 days. And now in their mind, they're like, yeah, man, I haven't even started. Let me just ask for a refund, because I haven't even started. I haven't even filled out anything. They're more likely to ask for a refund, and then you're like, I have to give it, because all I send is the onboarding process. I haven't even built out anything for them, right? Versus if they like complete the onboarding process as soon as you send it, now they're invested. Now they're like less likely to actually ask for a refund, because they already like filled out everything and all of that shit, right? So have them pay on the call. If it's a no, if they tell you like generally no, ask them why. Because tell them like, makes sense. So what is exactly that didn't sound good about this? Beginners hear a no, and they're like, oh, okay, cool, man. Yeah, have a nice day, bro. Speak never. You know, that's where the deal actually was. Most no's are one unanswered question showing up as a smokescreen. Okay, smokescreen, what it means is a fake objection a prospect gives you, like, I need to think about it, or send me some more information, to politely hide the real reason they're not buying. I have been on so many sales calls, and I'm like, okay, cool, I want to buy this, but you know, I don't know if this will work out. And they're like, yeah, I want to move forward. And I tell them like, yeah, I just want to think about it, or like, yeah, just send me the information. The real reason I'm not buying on the spot is because I have a doubt that it won't work. So instead of saying that, I'm just saying like, yeah, just send me the information, I'll pay it later, right? So if they give you a no, don't just be like, yeah, okay, cool, man, have a nice day. Ask them like, okay, cool, man, what makes this a no? What doesn't make sense about this? Or what doesn't sound good about this, right? And worst case, you learn why you're losing deals, right? Worst case, they'll tell you exactly why they're losing deals. So it's worth having anyway, right? And if it ends in a no, ask for a referral. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you don't buy because you're not buying because of like, you're not investing in this because of X, Y, Z reason. Cool, man. Do you know anyone else who would need this? Maybe they give you someone. And that deal that you thought that you lost, you'll have like a referral cover up for it. So one line to sum up everything that we covered in these 2 hours is sales. Take a screenshot of this, guys. Sales is finding people who are already losing money in their DMs, showing them exactly what is costing them, and being confident enough in the fix that you're selling to ask for the money, and then following up until they're ready. That's it, boys. Let's fire away with some questions. Yassine, what's up, man?
What's up? So I have 2 questions, and firstly, I want to thank you for everything today and putting your time here. So the first question is, what do you think about buying followers from external sites to make yourself seem more professional?
No, bro, don't do that. Don't do that, because when you buy followers, Instagram knows, bro. Instagram knows when you buy followers, and you're gonna get your account banned, you're gonna get shadow banned. So don't do that.
Okay then. And I live in the Nordics. I live in Sweden, and I wonder, like,
Nice, bro. We're
because
neighbors.
yes, I know. I saw your other agency thing. So I wonder, like, what do you think about niching down and talking in Swedish, or making it for, Swedish coaches stuff?
No, I wouldn't do that, bro, because the market is very small in Sweden.
Yeah.
Like, you can barely find any coaches who's getting more than 50 DMs a day, and there is a lot of restrictions around AI in Europe. So, bro, like, if not, I would sell to Norway, because Norway is a completely untouched market, bro. No one is selling AI DM setters here. Like, no one is even selling AI here, bro. People barely do any business here, right? So I would sell here, but the reason I'm not doing it is because The market is small. The market in Europe is more skeptical, less business-minded, and yeah, there's a lot of restrictions around AI here.
Okay, that was it. Thank you.
Cool, man. Ryan.
Yeah, hello, Haroon.
Hey, man.
Is my mic good or not?
This is good, bro.
All right, fine. So I'm gonna be posting after this call, maybe my first reel on my Instagram, and I would like to have your feedback before posting it after the call when you're gonna finish the question. Is it possible?
Yeah, once you posted it, just put in the community.
In the school, all right.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
cool.
have another question, is that it's about how I niche down, like Yassine said. I niche down for French people right now because I'm more like it's easier for me in French, and there's already like competitors in the English market. So my goal is to start in the French, start growing my name, and afterwards maybe move towards like English people too. So that's the goal. And
Okay,
I would
let me
like
stop you there,
some
bro.
feedback or tips.
Let me stop you there, bro. Be real, bro. Be like 100% real now. Is the reason you're selling to the French market because it's more comfortable and you speak French better than English and you know the market more, or is it because you genuinely believe that the English market is more competitive?
It's mainly the first reason, if I would answer.
Because you're not comfortable selling to the English market, or you're more
It's not
comfortable
about,
selling to the French market because you live there and you're local.
yeah, mainly, I would say.
Okay, so it's
And
more of a fear thing than it is like you actually believe that. Because I can tell you right now, bro, the English market is untouched. Every market with AIDM sellers are untouched.
yeah, exactly, because it was really like a choice I had between English and French. And it's not like you said, it's maybe about fear, but I didn't diagnose it like this at first. So it's more about switching after, like building a name. I already know how to target them. It's more easy for me, and then I'm gonna move to the English market. And I had some people that told me I can do both of them, like English and French in my post. And other people just told me to stick in English. So that's the confusing part.
Yeah, you're telling me that after you have built your name, you're gonna go to the English market. How is that
Maybe.
gonna serve?
Or I'm gonna
Maybe.
stay.
Yeah, but
It's like a strategy.
how is that gonna serve you though? Because if you build your name in the French market, the English market still doesn't know your name. So you're still gonna have to build your name from scratch in the English market, right? So another thing you're saying is I know how to reach out to them. I can tell you right now, bro, reaching out to French coaches versus English coaches is the same exact thing. Still send both to DM.
Yeah, it's just easier for me, I would say.
How is it easier for you?
It's in
What makes
French.
this easier? Because you speak French?
French is yeah, mainly.
You speak English right now, bro, and you're communicating with me perfectly.
Yeah, I know, but I grew up in French and everything, so that's the reason I already like made 5, 6 videos in French too. So I maybe rushed a bit in this decision,
I grew up in
but
Norway,
like,
bro.
and you
Do you get
already
my
chose
point?
it, and you didn't had like a thought process about this. You didn't
I
like
did.
hesitate.
I did, but I thought like I'm thinking right now. And I was real with myself and I told myself, like, yo, is the reason because I'm scared of selling to the English market, or is the real reason because the English market is like the French market is actually more easy to sell to? Do you get my
Yeah.
point?
Mhm.
So,
So should I stick with the English market, do you think?
bro,
Or should I stick with the French?
it's your call in the end, but don't like lie to yourself and tell yourself that you're doing it because you are more comfortable in the English market. Do you get my point? Like, sorry, you're more comfortable in the French market. It's not about. It's not about like. It's not about you being you, or it's not about one market being easier than the other market. I can tell you this right now.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
English market, to be honest, is easier because, as I told Yasin, like it's the Europe market is harder, it's more restrictions, it's a smaller market. The US market is easier, right? So if you're only doing it because you're like deep down you're scared to sell to a market that is like foreign to you, don't do it because of that reason. If you see another reason in it, like the French market, you actually know some people, for example, there, like you know some coaches, then go ahead and do it. If not, go to the English market. It's going to be easier for you.
I would say it's mainly because, yeah, like I said, I grew up with all this French thing, and all the content I also like see every day. It's mostly in French, so it did influence my decision. But at the end, I feel more comfortable, yes, in French than English.
So it's a thing about being more comfortable, not about you actually thinking that the French market is better.
And also, I would be the only one in the French market. I never saw someone, even the AI receptionist thing, it's not even like a big thing in the French market.
Before you make a decision, bro, you don't have to make a decision right now. Don't rush it. Take a walk after this call. I don't know what your plans are. Take a walk whenever you can. Do like a 1 hour walk alone and then think about it. Think about, why am I actually trying to sell? Like, what makes more sense to me?
Mm-hmm. I see, yeah.
Like,
So,
meditate on that. Like, don't make a decision right now, because if I were you, like bro, I'm in the same situation as you, bro. Like, literally, like Norwegian market versus English market. I chose to sell to the English market because I don't fear the English market, and I know the Norwegian market is smaller. Yeah, I'm better at speaking Norwegian than English. Yeah, I grew up here. Yeah, I also know coaches here, bro. But it's like, why not go to the English market? Because it's bigger, it's better, it's more potential there. People are more business minded there. You get my point?
yeah, I do.
So not sleep on it, but like think about it. Like do like a 1 hour walk. I don't know, sit down, journal on it, and then make the decision from there. Don't do it only because of fear and being
So
comfortable.
what, like all the content I already made, what should I do with it? And also, if I go with the French market, is it too late to switch up after? Maybe like do both once?
No, do one, bro. And to answer your question, like what should I do with the French one? Just replace it, bro. Just make English content and then just put out that instead.
All right, so like the content and everything, all right.
Yeah.
I see.
First decide and be real with yourself of why you want to switch.
Sure, thank you.
Cool. That's probably not the answer you wanted to hear, but I'm gonna give you the real answer instead of telling you, yeah, man, yeah, just sell to the French market.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks.
Yes, Rice. Bro, how do I say your name, man? I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Raisan.
Hey bro, Assalamualaikum. It's Raisan.
Raisan, what's up, man?
Like Mike Tyson, Raisan. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm actually from Bangladesh, South Asia, and I joined the program like 2-3 days back. So I'm still going through the school community, going through all the videos. I'll ask 3 quick questions. One is like a general question, and 2 questions related to today's session. Number one, I already have my niche selected, and I'm targeting the agency coaches, and I have my offer ready. And my question was, is it like agency coaches in general, like any type of agency, or should I just like go for any specific field in the agency sector?
Go for SMMA, AI agencies. Like I'm an example of who you can sell to. I'm an agency coach, like an AI agency coach. You can also sell this to SMMA coaches. You don't have to like super niche down.
Okay, got that. And like while you were showing your slides, you say that one guy had like 450K followers, and yet he didn't get any DMs. So we were probably selling to the wrong guy. So like for someone who has 450K and yet he doesn't get DMs, like how do I understand someone's getting DMs, like about the volume and stuff?
Most of them,
is a good,
most of them do, bro. It's like, that was like, if you have 450,000 followers, it wasn't that he wasn't getting any DMs, but he was just selling on Instagram. He was doing like in person. Most like people that are getting that has 450,000 followers are getting DMs. He was just like a 1%. Like he was an older guy, and he wasn't too much into like selling on Instagram and all of that. So he was like, there's like 1%. Like it's a 1% chance of someone with that many followers isn't getting DMs.
Okay,
Most
got
of them
that.
are.
Okay, okay. And as a normal user of Instagram, while scrolling, I find many people who would be probably selling something, or if not selling, they'll be like making some sort of content, and it would have like comment this word, or in their bio, DM this word, and I'll send you the link. So I find them like there are a lot of number of people like those. So like, how do I know someone has already installed an AI setter or not? Like, do I just randomly send to everyone, or do I filter out anyway?
So I was doing outreach the other day, and then there's this guy right here. Let me try and find him, man. So just listen to this. I sent him a message, he replied like this, and then I asked him like, are you human? Or yeah, I said, you already got AI, huh? And when like he has a trigger set up that when someone asks, are you AI, it sends a voice message back. So this is what he, like I sent this message at 2:52 p.m. like, you already got AI, huh? And he said, and he replied 2:53 this.
No, man, it's not AI. It's actually me.
Like it's a pre-recorded voice message that he just connected. So he already has an AI DM setter, right? But again, it's like you'll never know, bro. You'll never know until you speak to them. Did you get that?
Sorry, bro, my connection just got lost, so I didn't hear what you say. Do you
I
mind
said, like,
repeating it?
So you'll never know. Like at the end of the day, you'll never know until you speak to them and you can kind of sense it. I sent him like I don't know if you heard that, but I sent this guy, like I was doing outreach. I sent this guy a message asking like, I did my opener, and he said like, he said something, and I said like, you already got AI, huh? And he sent me a voice message 1 minute later back saying, no, it's not AI, it's actually me. And that's a pre-recorded voice message that we also install for our clients. So it's like, I know that, right? So you'll never know until you speak to them.
Okay, got it. And and one quick question to end. I live in Bangladesh where there aren't many payment processors. So I was actually going through like, what are the options? What can I go with? So someone had suggested Wise, and Wise is in Bangladesh, but it's not like 100% functional. So is the payment processor an important factor? Like if I go with some payment processor that's not like that renowned, so like, is that an issue?
What kind of payment processor is it? Wise doesn't work, you said?
Wise works, but it's not 100% functional. It has some constraints. And I was actually looking about the other agency owners, what do they do while collecting payments here local in Bangladesh? And there are a few payment processors named TapTapSend and Save and stuff, which aren't really that renowned in the West. So,
are you the guy who opened an LLC in US?
yeah, I did, but I didn't get the EIN yet.
Okay, just wait on that now.
No, that's me, Haroon. I have an LLC because I'm originally from Sri
No,
Lanka.
actually, I'm also the guy because the question I had asked him before, I also told him about LLC. So I'm the guy.
Okay, wait,
I guess he's
wait.
talking.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Rizhan, did you figure it out?
I actually have an LLC set up there with an EIN number because I faced the same problem because previously I tested ecom. So I had the same issue. I didn't have a payment processor back in my country. Yeah. So then I was finding for solutions, as his point is valid because, there's not a lot of options in the South Asian aspect. So then I was able to find a guy back in my country after so much research. And then it was actually, I had to take a chance because I did not know this guy. But alhamdulillah, it worked out. And he set me up. So maybe I can give you some tips on this, Raizan. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you message him, bro? Because this call is getting very long. It's like I have a lot of.
Yeah, I guess we could
questions.
Connect and then figure out.
Yeah. Just connect with him on school and then just figure it out. Okay.
No
100%, bro. Leave a text. And thank you, Haroon. Thank you.
Of course.
Assalamualaikum.
Of course. Wa alaikum salam. Adil, what's up, man?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, bro.
So yeah, thank you for the the call. I
course,
won't take too much of the time because there's a lot of questions. So I was gonna suggest like, would it be a good idea to have like a Discord just so we can do mock calls, because it's a bit easier with the voice compared to school. To message people and do mock calls.
For now, I just have it set up in school, bro, because like I have everything there. I don't want to have like multiple like channels. So you can download school on your phone. You'll get all notifications there.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
don't know if you have it.
I don't. I just have it on the desktop, but that's fine. I can download it as well.
Cool, man.
And I was going to ask about the volume. You said if the owner has enough volume. What's enough volume? Would that be just the DMs, or would that be mostly how much the setter gets, for example?
No, that's the DM. So if someone is getting like 1, 2, 3, 4 DMs a day, that's not a lot. Versus if someone is getting 10 DMs, 20 DMs, 30 DMs, 40 DMs, 50 DMs, that's someone you can sell to, right? Because then they're getting enough volume. And it's not only about like him replying to all those leads. It's also about like if he's getting 1 DM a day, and let's say you book that 1 DM into a call, he's not going to make that much money. But if he's getting 10 DMs a day and you book like 3 of them, he's going to make a lot of money, right? So if you sell him, like, it's going to be easier for you to justify the price of like 5K or 3K, because you're telling him, okay, cool, you're getting 50 inbound DMs a day, and let's say we only convert 10 of them into a call. That's 10 calls booked for you within a day or a week or whatever, right? So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Okay, Jazakallah, that makes sense.
That was everything?
That's all.
Cool, man. Did it make sense though? Did I answer your question?
It does make sense, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Appreciate it.
Solomon.
Hello, Haroon. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Salam, bro.
Thank you for the call. I think it was very thorough. So me personally, I don't have any issues with I think a lot of the things you mentioned. I just have one thing. So I don't really want to reinvent the wheel or confuse anyone here, but I'm kind of focusing on a completely different business segment, which is businesses. I know your thing is mainly for coaches and stuff like that. We spoke about it briefly last week. But essentially, my thing is, it's not so much the tech side, but obviously I'm doing cold calls. What is the best incentive I can give them on a cold call to jump on a call? Because in the past, I've done the actual sales calls and it's went really well. So I don't really have a problem with that. But my issue is just getting them from a cold call. So I'm calling a decision maker who runs like a business, but getting them to come onto the call is like the real struggle. I personally feel I'm quite confident I'll close them once I've got them on the sales call.
So your question is, how do I get them from a cold call to a sales call?
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty much the same, bro. It's like, it's your script, it's your it's basically 2 things. It's the volume you do, and it's your script, right? So I can't like give you a tip without looking at your script, right? How much volume are you doing per day? How many cold calls are you doing per day?
Well, so before this, I was just doing messages, but as at the end of last week, I was like, you know what, messages, like in this particular instance I'm doing, isn't that effective. So I just want to hammer down on the cold calls. I have experience in like field sales before, so yeah, I'm just making my list now, and I just want to make as many cold calls as I can.
So you haven't started making cold calls yet?
I've made about 2, but they haven't went through. Prior to that, it was just messages. I sent like 100 messages. One of them turned into a sales call, which went really well, and we've had 3 meetings since then. But obviously, this really sounds stupid, but obviously that person wasn't just a business, it was a big enterprise. So he can't just sign off of it. He needs to go to management and get approval, financing, and shit like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Like if you made 2 calls and like there is not much feedback I can give you, bro, because
they didn't even go through. But as of today, I wanted to make like a list of like 100 and then make at least 20 a day.
Yeah, like when I had like these, when I was like the students that I had selling AI receptionists, first of all, they were making anywhere between 100 to 200 cold calls a day, right? So the only thing I can tell you is do volume, right? Like I can't give you any feedback because you haven't done any calls yet.
Fair
So I can sit there and like
That's the
act as
case.
an expert and tell you, bro, like you need to do this script and that script, but I can't because you haven't done enough yet. So start doing
Completely
cold calls
understand you.
first.
I
Huh?
completely get where you're coming from. I completely
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. But with that, there's a caveat because not all businesses have, let's say, over 20K followers. So that's part of the problem. So that leads to my second question of, let's say I've got a few clients who are on my maybe list, but they've only got 14,000 followers, but they're selling services that cost a minimum of £1,000. So does that mean I can still call them?
Yeah, for sure, bro. 14,000 people with 14,000 followers and 20,000 followers. There's not a big difference in how many DMs they're getting.
Okay. Okay. So I should still target them as well. Be less picky on that.
Yeah, for sure, bro. There is like even businesses getting that has 3,000 followers getting enough DMs.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the only problem is a lot of the time, some of these businesses, a lot of the time their followers are fake or they bought them and stuff. But it's fine. It's more of an issue for a guarantee further down the line. Okay, cool. Third and final question. Thank you so much, by the way. Is is part of the system now? Can it send lead magnets? So a lot of these people, they've like give out, I don't know, like they give out like free stuff, like free guide, PDF, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
You
And
can
it's
just set that up in ManyChat, bro. Like free lead magnet, like free resources, it's just only a link. There's not a full conversation. You can just set it up inside of ManyChat. So inside of ManyChat, you add a trigger. Trigger is comment on new reel or like or like new follower.
yeah,
And then you connect it with like auto DM them. And then you can select like DM
yeah,
them
when
a
they
link.
comment and stuff.
Yeah, you can
But
do that.
it doesn't do that for yours. Will there be something in the future which does do that on yours?
Bro, I don't need it on mine because ManyChat already does that, and we already connected through ManyChat. So there is no point of me having that on the DMset platform if ManyChat does that already.
Okay, fair enough. Is there any video which shows how to connect the two?
Yeah, there is a video inside of. If you go to Classroom and you go to FAQs, and you go to, yeah, there is only like one video inside of the Classroom section in the FAQ section, and it's like, can the bot do outbound messages?
Yeah, there's
Then it's
no,
gonna show
I
you.
don't have a video here for that. Oh, it's loading. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Fantastic.
that video explains it.
Well, that was it. Thank you so much for the call, my bro.
Of
Jazakallah
course,
khair.
man. Of course. Henok, what's up, my brother? Anyone see Henok? Wa alaikum salam, brother. There you are.
Wanted to show some appreciation for all the sauce you dropped.
Appreciate
Learned a
that,
lot.
bro.
I just wanted to ask you about the coaching,
Yeah.
about like niching to coaches. So, does coach only refer to course sellers, or can it also refer to coaches that coach businesses?
1 second, bro. My mom is calling me on the wrong time. 1 second, bro. Let me just send her a message. I've been speaking for 3 hours, man. Let's see. Sorry, my brothers. Ask the question again, please.
So, does coaches only refer to course sellers, or does it also refer to people who coach businesses?
You know, coaches is like any type of coach, bro. Like fitness coaches. Have you seen the niche database, like in the course?
Yes.
And there's like 76 different type of coaches in there. Even like, bro, pregnancy coaches, dating coaches, fertility coaches, any kind of coach, bro. Any kind of coach, you can sell this to. It doesn't only have to be like online gurus or only selling a course. Make sense?
That makes sense. Can I ask you one more question?
Of course, bro.
It's more like advice. I have my own business Instagram and my own personal. So I was thinking about basically posting content where it's posts on both of them at the same time. Would you think that's a good idea, or?
So you have a business page and a personal page on Instagram?
Yes. Yeah.
And you want to post content? No, bro, I wouldn't do that because if you post the same amount of like same video on like at the same time on another profile, it's just like Instagram will just read it as duplicate and it won't like give reach to any of them. So people won't basically see them, or there's less chance of them seeing it. So I wouldn't do it.
Oh, even if it's like a reel, because I see some reels and it's posted on 2 channels at the same time.
Yeah, like if the channels like viral videos, like if someone posts viral videos at the same time, it's like it's gonna go out anyways because it's a viral video, right? It's gonna get views anyways. But from what I've heard, at least, it's like if you post it on 2 you can try, bro. Like from what I heard, like if you post it on 2 channels at the same time or 2 Instagram users at the same exact time, Instagram is gonna block the reach because basically what you're doing is you're kind of hacking the system. Do you get me? You can try, bro. You can try and you can see. I have never personally done it, but that's what I heard at least.
Okay, appreciate it. Jazakallah khair.
Of course, man. Son, what's up, man?
Hey, bro. I know the call's like too long, and I appreciate like everything that you're sharing today. I have 3 questions that came up. It's fine if we post between TikTok and IG Reels. It's fine if we do it that way too.
So, sorry, say that again.
Like if we post on IG Reels and on TikTok at the same time, that wouldn't be a problem, right?
No. You should do that actually.
Okay. And for outreach, we should, because I know the videos that I was watching inside the school course, it was saying that we need to reach out to accounts that are more than 5K followers, right? Nothing below 5K.
Yeah, like to make it easy as a general rule in the beginning, yeah, you should do that. Like
Okay.
there are accounts, bro, that are like 3,000 followers and getting a lot of DMs, but it's like maybe 20-30% of them. To make it easier, bro, there is enough accounts, big accounts that you can message
Yeah.
over 5K followers.
Perfect. And one last question would be for the follow-up. Would you recommend following up every like 2 to 3 days or just giving it a week and then following up again?
No, not a week, bro. 2 to 3 days.
Okay, sweet, man.
A
Appreciate
week
it.
is too long.
All right, bro. Appreciate that.
Of course. Last question, Ryan. What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up? All right, again, because what you said, I need to go for a walk and think about it. So it's
You already been for a
really
walk, bro?
rushed decision. No, I didn't yet, but I already like with Claude, I gave him a prompt and everything. He's gonna do like market research, comparing both because numbers speaks better too. And another question I had is about, yeah, can I do both account, like 2 accounts, one in English and one in French? Because one in English where I'm gonna put more focus on, and one in French where I'm gonna post the reels I already made, 10 others or 20 others. So I have an account for French people if I wanna outreach with it. I'm gonna warm it up a bit and everything, but after my focus is more gonna be in the English one.
You want to post on both accounts at the same time?
Because the thing I have right now is I made like 6, 7, or 8 reels in French right now, and in French. And if I switch up with English, we have to do it all over again. And I don't have a lot of experience and everything in all this reel making, so it's gonna take a lot of times again and everything. So that's the issue I see right now.
To be honest, bro, you're overthinking it. To be honest, like that's what I would tell you. Just like pick one market. Like fuck Claude, bro. For Claude, don't listen to Claude, bro. When it comes to things like that, just take a walk. See what feels best for you. Okay, ask yourself the question I told you. Like, are you generally doing it because you feel like English market is better, or is it because you feel like French market is better, or are you doing it because of you don't want to like you just want to be comfortable? And the second thing is, yeah, you already posted like 6 reels. So what, bro? Like you can post 6 more reels. Like just look at those reels as repetition. Like you just put reps in. You just said that you were more comfortable in French. Okay, cool. You made six reels in French, and then now you warmed up your reel making skills with those 6 reels, and now you're gonna go and make it in the English market.
Sure.
Take a walk, bro. Take a walk. I'm telling you. Fuck Claude, bro. Don't rush. Like take a walk. ask yourself this question: what am I doing it because? Like, what am I doing it for? I can tell you right now, the English market is going to be better. It's going to be easier for you.
Yeah, I see. So if I end up with with a personal decision, I feel better in French, and a more rational decision where English is better, which one should I listen? Do you think?
Well,
The rational one?
bro, like my rational decision right now, or 1 hour ago, was to my emotional and personal decision, right? 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour ago was to end this call because I don't want to speak for 2 hours, bro. I'm tired. I want to go home. It's like 8:30. I've been here since 11. That's my personal, emotional decision that I want to take. Then my rational decision is, guys, like I want to give you guys like the value. I want to finish off the call. Which one should I take? Like in life, if you think that you only take non-rational decisions, do you think your life would be better? You would be a better person if you're taking emotional decisions or rational decisions?
Yeah, exactly. Like you're right, I may be overthinking it. Yeah.
Like, do you want the real answer, bro? Like, I don't want to come off as rude, and I'm never rude. I'm just being 100%.
Oh, don't worry. It's fine. Yeah.
I believe, bro, because I've run a coaching program before. I've spoken with many guys. From my perspective, bro, you're just being a coward, to be honest. You're just being afraid because we both know it, bro. You're telling me the rational decision is English market, but you're basically just like going for for the French market just because it's more comfortable. It's not because the French market is better. It's because you're afraid of going to the English market. That's the real answer, bro, from what I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So yeah, bro, I would make a rational decision. Take a walk, bro. You're gonna realize it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about. 2 hours in the chair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a walk. Thanks. Thanks again.
All right, boys. Good call today. 2.5 hours. I've been here. All of you guys as well. We've been here for 2.5 hours. Appreciate you guys being here as well, listening. I hope you guys got a lot. Was the call valuable?
Super valuable. Will it be uploaded? Will it be uploaded in school?
Yeah, it will be uploaded.
It's
gonna take like 3 working days to download.
Nah, you're chilling, bro. You're chilling.
So yeah, I'm gonna upload it. Guys, next week I'm gonna be traveling, so there's gonna be no group call next week. So yeah, if you guys have any questions and shit, just ask me in the community. Cool.
Sweet.
Let's make some fucking money, boys. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks from now.
Sounds good, bro.
See you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.